Your Honor, this is case number 403 on the calendar in the matter of Gardner versus Zaleski. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Ms. Gardner, you and Mr. Zaleski lived together for a period of time. It is your claim that he owes you for some old bills, some rent, and fines. Mr. Zaleski says that he agreed, when the two of you parted ways, to a restraining order issued in your favor. And sort of as a quid pro quo, you agreed to take on the responsibility of the bills and the house and the lease, etc. Is that right, sir?
That's correct, Your Honor.
As far as the fines were concerned, he says he never borrowed any money from you. So, when did you live together?
From July of 2003 through the end of June 2004.
And did you both sign a lease?
The first year, his credit wasn't good enough, so I was the only person on the lease for the first year. There were 2 leases involved.
Do you claim that he owes you any money from the first lease?
Yes.
So if he owes you money from the first lease, why did you sign another lease with him?
Because the first lease, I was giving him an opportunity to get back on his feet. He wasn't paying rent from his first place. His roommates were kicking him out. So we had the agreement that he would pay me back if I gave him the opportunity to get back on his feet.
But he didn't do that. He didn't pay you back. And he didn't pay his other roommates back.
Correct.
And despite that, you signed yet another lease with him.
At that time, he was an investment. I had already lent
He's
him.
a bad investment. That
Correct.
means you had bad judgment.
I did.
So then let's start out with lease number 2, because I'm not interested in lease number 1. When did you sign the second lease?
In May of 2004.
Did you sign the lease too, sir?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Very good. And how much was the rent?
My share was $505 a month.
Is that right?
He's correct.
Okay. Did you pay it?
I paid for the first month that I lived there.
How many months did you live there?
Well, 17 days after we moved into the apartment, she informed me that she wanted to end our relationship, and she instructed me that I was to go out and get my own apartment and take care of myself on my own.
So you're telling me that you paid May's rent?
Actually, we moved in, the lease started June 1st.
You mean the landlord gave you a freebie for May?
We moved in at the end of May. They gave us a few free days at the end of May to move in.
Okay. And he moved out when?
The last weekend in June.
Did you pay June's rent?
Yes, I did.
Show me.
I paid all but $30 of it. I have it all documented.
Let me see. Good job. What are these things, these receipt things?
Those were receipts that I was giving a copy to her every time I made a payment to her.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Did you ever see these before?
No.
Of course not. He does nice tabs, but Mr. Zaleski, what you're trying to tell me is that the woman that you were sleeping with every night, you would give her a receipt if you gave her $40. I just want you to see if that's what you're trying to tell me.
After this process, probably.
What does that mean? After this process, probably. I want to know, sir. You were living with her?
Not at the time the payments were made.
Oh.
Those were made after she had kicked me out of the apartment.
Did he give you money after he
No.
was kicked out of the apartment?
No.
Of course not. By the way, do you have a checking account?
No, not right now.
Did you?
Did I have...
Ever have
Yes.
a checking account?
Yes.
Let me
and
see.
It was from October 2003 to May 2004. Those are all payments made for bills and to Sarah Gardner, check duplicates, and bank statements.
Why don't you have a checkbook anymore, sir?
Because the balance that I had at this bank account was overdrawn, and I did not have time to open up a new banking account.
So you had an overdrawn bank account because you didn't have any money?
Correct.
And yet you were giving her money for some old bills, according to you, that going back to 2003. Is that what you're telling me?
She can be very demanding, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. Okay. 505 you owe her for June because you have no payment here for June, other
You
than
say
the
so.
yellow little receipts that I don't believe. Here, you can give this back to him. He's got nice color. He did a nice job here, I must say. This is a very, very nice job.
Not as good as she did lying.
Sir, you don't understand. There is no payment for June's rent.
I have the original cash ledger with every payment that I gave her.
I'm not interested in 2003. If she was dumb enough to sign up with you again after you owed her, allegedly, all this money from 2003, that's her problem. That comes under the category of being dumb. I'm just talking about June 2004's rent. And if you can show me that you paid $505 for June 2004's rent, I'll give you credit for it.
Well,
Can you or can you not?
the total amount of rent due from the first lease...
I'm not interested in the first lease.
I overpaid her, Your Honor.
Listen to me.
No.
Show me a check for June's rent.
I cannot do that.
All right. Now, what about this fine, Miss Gardner? When was it? What was it for?
In October of 2003, he got his license taken away. It was for an old parking ticket he didn't pay for. In May of 2004, he wanted to get his license back. He had about $1,300 in fines. The only actual evidence I could come up with that I paid was $475. I know there was more, but I have evidence for $475 of those fines.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
What about these fines, Mr. Zaletsky?
That was money loaned so we could get those cleared up so we could move to Madison.
We. I don't understand the we. Who got the tickets?
I did.
So when did it become a plural, we, so that we could clear them up?
When we were moving on to the next chapter in our relationship and our lives after she graduated college and we were moving to Madison.
They're your fines. Why should she pay them?
She offered.
Because he promised to pay me back.
Of course he did. So we have a new boyfriend, Miss Gardner.
Yes.
Does he have a job?
Yes, he does.
Does he pay his own way?
Yes, he does. And then some.
Good. Well, at least you learn.
Real quick.
Eventually.
Right. Learn from our mistakes.
Okay. Now, you, sir, say that she agreed to sort of swallow hard with regard to this entire debt if you consented to a protective order, even though you really weren't harassing her, right? Mm-hmm. So let's start with the fact that she signed up for a protective order because you were bothering her.
Yes.
You were summoned to court. Mm-hmm. You consented to the order.
Correct.
Show me where she said, I will assume all of the responsibility.
Can I just say something?
I want to look at it. You can say whatever you want after I look at his
See,
evidence.
it's the last sentence on page 2 and
Yes.
page 3. She stated it twice, Your Honor.
I'm going to look at it, sir. Oh, what she says is, Aaron owes me several $1,000s, but I'm willing to cut my losses to get him out of my life.
Correct.
Well, she is cutting her losses, sir. She says you owe it several $1,000s. I just cut it down for you to $980.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
You say, let's lie to the police, because you knew you were going to have real trouble if you were caught behind the wheel of the car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sarah Gardner says ex-boyfriend Aaron Zaleski owes for breaking an apartment lease. Aaron says Sarah told him to move out.
Now let's get to your counterclaim.
Okay. Sarah Gardner kicked me out on June 17th, 2004.
Sarah Gardner, according to you, told you that she thought it was time for you to get out of the apartment, correct?
Actually, it was a trial separation where I got my own apartment and she had her own apartment, but we were still trying to continue to be friends. There were instances where she even cooked me dinner a few nights, watched movies after I was gone.
Listen, not Oprah. What's your counterclaim about?
My counterclaim is to make up the difference in rent accrued in the apartment since she got evicted and kicked me out. I signed the lease along with her mother as a co-signer, and the rent currently due is $4,985, and I am requesting half of that amount, which is $2,492.50.
Why? Who's suing you?
They will be suing as soon as the apartment is re-rented. She jumped the gun and decided to sue before it was closed.
Your counterclaim is premature, sir.
So would her claim be then too, wouldn't it?
No, sir. You lived there in June. Your behind was in the bed in June. You didn't pay the rent, so you owe her for that. You gathered up hundreds and hundreds of dollars in fines. She paid them. That is not something in futuro. The fact that you think that the landlord may come after you for unpaid rent for the lease that you signed is speculative. Do I make myself clear?
Clear.
Counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $980. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Just have one more thing. Look up. Look up. Say thank you, God.
Thank you, God. Honestly, I'm just glad that's over. I hope I never have to see him again.
Unfortunately, my best was never good enough for her.
He's got issues.
She gave me the greatest year of my life, and I've never been loved more by anybody so genuinely, and I'm going to miss that, and it haunts me every day.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Shirley versus Edwards, step forward.
Financial officer Ron Shirley is suing the father of his son's friend, private detective Rick Edwards for the cost to fix his Honda Del Sol. Ron says Rick's son, Clayton, crashed it into a gate.
Tell me your first name.
Scott,
How old are you, Scott?
17.
Clayton, 16.
And these are your fathers.
Yeah,
That's correct.
yes.
According to what I read, Scott, you were out driving your father's car, with your father's permission, I assume?
That's correct.
And you let Clayton drive your father's car.
Yes.
Clayton had an accident while driving your father's car, and Mr. Shirley, you want Clayton and his father to be responsible for the damage caused while Clayton was behind the wheel of the car.
That's correct.
Mr. Edwards says it is not his son's fault, and therefore he is not responsible for the damage. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Scott, tell me when this accident happened.
Last year, August 13th, I think.
Who was in your dad's car?
It was me on the passenger side, and he was driving.
How did it come about that he was driving?
He asked me if he can drive my car home, and I said,
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you say?
I said, okay.
What happened, Clayton?
I first got in, and then as we were driving away, I pushed the brakes, and then it didn't make the car stop. And then by the time I realized that the brakes weren't going, I tried to swerve, and I hit a gate into a pole. And then after we looked down, we looked at the accelerator was stuck under the floor mat. That's how the car crashed.
And what happened at that point, Clayton?
Me and Scott talked it over, and then
What do you mean you talked it over?
we talked about the situation about me being only 15 at the time and me not having a license or insurance.
When you talked it over, what did you say to him and what did he say to you?
I recall saying that I was 15 at the time and did not have insurance and that we should switch spots and that I'd pay him back any way I can.
So you said to Scott, let's lie to the police.
I told them to switch spots.
You told him to switch spots for the purpose of lying to the police.
Yes, ma'am.
And Scott said?
He reluctantly said yes.
When you say he reluctantly said yes, what does that mean?
Because we were both scared at the time. We didn't know what to do. So then we both agreed to do that because I said I'd pay him back any way I could.
So when the police came, you did lie to the police, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened, Scott?
And then, like, my parents paid for all the damages. It turned out to be a lot of money, so I decided that to tell my parents the truth.
And Mr. Shirley, you contacted Mr. Edwards?
I did.
And what happened when you contacted Mr. Edwards?
He suggested that we would do more harm for the boys than good by amending the police report, and that he would honor the damages to the car and offer to pay for them.
Is that right?
That's basically right, Your Honor.
And then what happened?
Well, after about 24 hours, I thought it through and decided that that was not a position I wanted to take. I didn't want to foster a false police report, and I brought my son to the police, and we corrected the report.
Absolutely the right thing to do. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, my son was arrested for false information to a police officer, a misdemeanor. He's been on probation and had to do community service.
And Clayton, what happened to you as a result of this debacle on the 13th of August?
Police officer came to my house and he changed the report and said that I got a ticket for unlicensed driver. I went to court and paid the fine. And then my father dealt with me, and I'm still on corporal punishment as we speak.
You're on corporal punishment? You mean he beats you every day?
No.
That's corporal punishment, sir. You're not on capital punishment, right?
No.
Not yet.
You're on corporal punishment, which means that your father takes you downstairs and beats you every day?
No.
Capital punishment. He kills him every
That would be capital.
No, that's corporal. That's corporal, sir. Corporal punishment.
Well, my version would be capital.
Oh, I get that.
Well, I'd like to know what you did to your son, sir.
He's being punished in various ways.
Well, give me an example.
By cutting off money, making him work harder than
Does
he
he
ever
drive
has.
a car?
He drives a car back and forth to school and to baseball games. Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car does he drive?
A truck.
How many cars do you have in your family?
4.
So he has the use of this truck by himself.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's not much of a punishment.
There's
And
more.
he did, shh. Bottom line is he got a ticket.
Yes, ma'am.
And how much did it cost you, Mr. Shirley, to fix the car and to fix the gate?
Well, the gate was covered by insurance. Unfortunately, that's a claim on our insurance. That was around $8,000 or $9,000. The car itself was over $3,000.
And your son now has an arrest, and he's doing community service.
Right.
And he's on probation.
Correct.
I feel balanced to you, Mr. Edwards?
I'm sorry. One more time, Your Honor.
Does that feel balanced to you?
It doesn't feel that bad to me, Your Honor.
Let me try to give it to you again, Mr. Edwards, because you don't look like a bad guy.
I don't think
I don't think you are either. I just think that maybe you're an overindulgent, overly protective parent, but maybe just overly protective of your pocketbook. But I want to give you a scenario, and you tell me if you think that these are equal. Where were you born, sir?
California.
You had to think about that? You had no idea where you were born?
I was trying to think of the city.
You were born in the state of California,
Yes.
the United States of America.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Scott, where were you born?
China,
And when did you come to the United States of America?
3 years ago.
And this happened last year, is that right?
Yes.
So that you were here for 2 years?
Yes.
Okay. So you have somebody born in the state of California, someone here for 2 years. You say, let's lie to the police. According to you, reluctantly, because you gave them a little bit of a pressure, because you knew you were going to have real trouble if you were caught behind the wheel of the car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. You said, we're going to tell the police that you were driving. Scott said, all right, maybe I'll get in trouble if I let you drive. So he said, okay. He fessed up because it bothered him that his family had to spend all this money, and he, in his heart, knew that he wasn't the one driving. So in his head, he said, well, I'm really not responsible. He's partially responsible because he shouldn't have let you drive the car. But initially, you promised to pay for the damage, right?
Yes, and it wasn't quick enough as he would like.
Well, he expected you to go to your father and say to your father, listen, I did the wrong thing. I promised I'd pay for the damage, Dad. Could you lend me the money and I'm going to work it off? That's what it means by keeping your word. But you didn't go to your father right away, did you?
We thought that was the best thing. Me and Scott talked about.
Don't tell me what you thought was the best. You chose to do nothing. We have somebody who was more wrong than not, who has suffered no consequence whatsoever. He's driving around in a truck, all his own. According to you, despite the fact that he says he's subjected to corporal punishment every day, you say he's got to work a little bit harder than he used to.
Much harder.
Well, he should work a lot harder, sir, because he should pay you back the money that I'm going to order you to pay, because your son is at least partially responsible. And in my view, I have to attribute the cost of this act between the two of you. Now, your out-of-pocket expenses for the car were $3,000, and you would agree that your son is at least partially responsible for letting him drive the car. And believe me, you know the excuse of the brake pad got caught under the rug? You know that excuse? That's the other excuse? I don't buy it. So when you do the wrong thing, you have to fess up and pay up. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. I believe that $500 of that has to be absorbed by your son for his bad judgment in letting somebody else drive your car. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well,
This is case number 36 on the calendar in the matter of Franklin Drury versus Diaz. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. May be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
I assume that this wasn't serendipity that you chose the same ties. Is that right?
Yeah.
You... Sweet touch. Okay. According to your complaint, you and this young lady used to be friends. You decided that you would take an apartment together, took the apartment together, and according to your complaint, she owes you money because she moved out of the apartment prior to the termination of the lease, causing you expense. She did not pay for the last month that she should have paid. She did not pay to have the lease broken, and there was also an extant phone bill that you believe she's responsible for. Ms. Diaz says, A, she paid the phone bill, right? B, she wasn't even on the lease, and she was being a good guy because she even paid you one extra month when she wasn't living there. So, when did you move in together and why?
Well, actually, we moved in July 2003, and we both agreed that we was gonna move into a 3-bedroom apartment.
Okay. Where were you living before July of 2003?
At her parents' house.
Have you been together for a long time?
Yes, ma'am.
How long?
About a year and a half.
Oh, an eternity. How old are you?
19.
And you?
20.
Are you living together now?
Yes,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have a child together.
But you're not married?
No.
ma'am.
Any particular reason for that?
No.
Well, people who are together for a year and a half don't necessarily have to get married, but when you have a child together, usually that suggests that you've made a commitment. I mean, this is always a curious thing for me to discuss. I know Bert is particularly interested in this because he has young daughters. So he would like to know the answer to this question. Why no marriage?
We want to have a big wedding and we don't have the money for it. So we're saving up for it. I mean...
Well, that's great, but you don't have a baby beforehand. Baby, you don't make a flower child, you know, a flower girl, a flower boy.
But basically, being married is just a written paper. our commitment to each other is, I mean, just as good as marriage. I mean...
Do you work?
No, I stay home with my daughter.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a machinist.
How much money do you earn?
$10.91 an hour.
How old is your baby?
4 months.
You receive any sort of state aid? Look at me. Any sort of state aid?
WIC.
So you receive some sort of state aid for
Yes,
the baby?
ma'am.
Does the government know you live together?
Yes, ma'am. We just moved into our new apartment.
So before that, they didn't know you were living together?
Right.
See, you always have to follow the money. Following the money is real important. So it's a little bit of commitment and a little bit of WIC. So you decided to move into an apartment together, the three of you. When was that? July?
July 2003.
And who signed the lease?
Me and her did.
Her child.
And actually, her child was on the lease with us.
Her child? Was
Yeah,
on
her
the
child.
lease?
She told us that she didn't want to. Well, she told us that she couldn't be on the lease because her credit was bad. Some people had messed up her credit when she had. Some
Whatever
roommates.
it was, she was not on the lease. And how old is her child?
2.5.
A child can't sign the lease.
No, he didn't sign it. She gave us permission to put him on the lease so we could
Whatever.
get a
Doesn't make any
three-bedroom.
difference. She didn't sign the lease. So the two of you signed the lease and she did not. Moved into an apartment in July. The lease was for how long?
13 months.
When did you move out?
I moved out in January, but I didn't get my stuff out until March.
March. When in March?
The second week of March.
Oh, so did you pay rent through March?
No.
Why not?
I paid February's rent because I left on like the last week of January, so I knew I needed to pay February. I went to get my belongings before February was up, and I was unable to get everything because I only had someone's truck for a certain amount of time.
Is this the boyfriend?
Yes.
He should have gone with you to get the stuff out.
He was with me.
Good, so you should have gotten it all out in February. You left your stuff there, you're responsible for your share of March's rent, which was how much?
$393.
That you got. Now you want her also to pay for what it cost you to break your lease. Why?
Well, we agreed back in January. We started talking about if we decided to move out and get different apartments that we would both use our tax money and split the difference, which was $785.
I don't see her responsible for breaking your lease, for what it cost you to break your lease. She's not on the lease.
But she agreed. She told us that she would.
We had
go
a verbal
half of-
agreement.
Yeah, she agreed that
But
she'd pay half of it.
our verbal agreement also considered him living there and helping me pay my half. But then they decided they didn't want him there, and that's when the whole discussion of us moving out even came up.
Why didn't you, they want him there?
There was issues between, I mean, it was too crowded for one. When their baby came, it was agreed upon when we first moved in that their daughter and my son, since they were still so little, were going to be able to share a room. And when their baby came, they were given so much gifts that it ended up that my son, myself, and him were all in one bedroom. And it just started from there. We didn't have room.
Okay, so it
privacy.
wasn't a good situation.
Right.
I got it. Okay. Well, whatever other reason, it wasn't a good situation. $393 in rent. That's what they owe you so far. What about the phone bill?
Well, ma'am, the phone bill's in my name, and Adam, her boyfriend, went to Oklahoma in January, and she asked if, she could call him and accept his collect calls, and I said that it was okay as long as she paid the phone bill. Her total on the phone bill charges was $362.65. I called Mrs. Diaz on the 17th of March to remind her that the phone bill was due on the 19th. She said that she would bring the money to me on the 19th, and on the 19th she never brought me the money. So the phone bill was then late. Coincidentally, she got a note on her car saying Tiffany's taking you to court, so she calls me telling me that she sent the money to Verizon herself. Didn't have the account number or nothing. Just sent it to Verizon without letting me know, and I called Verizon all week and they never received a payment.
So you didn't get paid?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
They were given the money on the 19th.
By whom?
By myself, and he was with me.
Oh, let me hear. Tell me about it.
We went, when I got off of work
here,
that
look here.
Friday on the 19th, I got off of work. I went and got a payday loan for a majority of the money.
Show me proof of that.
Well, I have the check I wrote to the payday place, which was half of it, and the other 100 I borrowed from him. But they were given cash. I don't have proof because I didn't think I needed to get a receipt
any cash, ma'am.
from a friend.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You can sit down because I don't want you to have to trip over your tie and lying for her. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a very good thing, because otherwise I have to eat you for breakfast, and I've already had breakfast, so I'm kind of full right now.
And later today,
She was like a sister to me.
Well, then what happened?
Well, we used to do a lot of drugs, and when I quit using, that's when our friendship basically dissolved, and I decided to move down a different road than she did.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kyle Franklin and his girlfriend, Tiffany Drury, claim former roommate Annalisa Diaz owes for breaking an apartment lease, unpaid rent, and a phone bill.
Go ahead.
At one point, I was going to mail it directly to the phone company, and I wanted the account number it would be applied to. She did not want to give that to me, so
No,
that's
she
a lie,
said she
ma'am.
was going to send the check to the phone company, but she never had the account number, so we didn't understand why she would send a check with no account number. And she actually said that that they charged the money that she sent for our account, they charged to her other account, which some other
She had
roommates
a
of
bad
hers,
account,
that
and
she
they put
already
the
had
money
a pattern.
towards that instead of my account.
Well, that's an interesting story to make up.
That was the story that I said I wasn't going to do because I figured that was what was going to happen. Because
So you remember having
they-
listen to me. Therefore, what you're telling me, Ms. Diaz, is the statements that the plaintiff made about you saying, I'm going to send the money directly, did happen, but just didn't happen the way they just told me it happened.
Right.
Now, you owe Verizon an old bill. Is that right?
Yes.
How old?
2 years.
So you scammed Verizon out of $100, $50, $200 by using their services and not paying for it.
No, it was another roommate situation where my bill was ran up and I'm not going to pay it.
She's doing the same
So
thing
she
to
turned
us.
around and said it to us.
Ms. Diaz, I don't believe you. I don't believe that you gave him any cash. You can sit down because I don't want you to have to trip over your tie and lying for her. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a very good thing, because otherwise I have to eat you for breakfast, and I've already had breakfast, so I'm kind of full right now. You owe him for a month's rent and for your phone bill. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $755.65. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It just wasn't a good situation. We should have never got into it in the first place.
We were pretty close with them, but now we don't really talk anymore.
They just told me they didn't want me there no more. I mean, basically, that was it.
I'm just, glad it's done and everything. We just learned a lesson not to have roommates.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Donor versus Fexer. Step forward, please.
Office manager Denise Donor is suing her former friend, bartender Shelley Fexer, for unpaid loans to pay her bills. Shelley is countersuing, claiming Denise stole her belongings.
Ms. Donor, the defendant was a former friend of yours. And
Yes, she was.
You lived together for a while.
No, I lived with her mother. She did not live at the house.
You lived at her mother's house.
Correct.
She didn't live there ever?
No, she lived it with her boyfriend.
And according to your complaint, you made a loan to her.
Correct.
And she did not pay you back.
Correct.
Ms. Fexer, according to your answer, there was never a loan. The plaintiff paid some bills for you because she was a friend and you had fallen on hard times. And you claim that she took some of your property when she moved out of your mother's house.
Right.
And you are counterclaiming for several $1,000s. Ms. Donor says that the only thing she took was that piece of luggage, I assume. She's more than willing to give that back to you. When was this loan made, Ms. Donor?
It started in August of 2002 up until June of 2003.
Okay, let's start with the first loan. What amount and what for?
When I moved out there in the house with her mom, she asked me
Were you
if I
paying
could...
her mother rent?
Yes, I was. She asked me if I could help her out by paying some credit card bills because she didn't have any money. She wasn't working a steady job. She's a bartender, and it wasn't real steady for her.
How long do you know her?
A little over a year.
So you were good enough friends for her to come and ask you for money?
Yes.
And you felt close enough to her to give her the money?
Yes, I did.
How much did you give her in August of 2002?
August, it was only $200, ma'am. She flew to Chicago to help me pack my house out of Chicago.
So then why should she owe you $200?
She agreed to pay for her flight. I paid for everything else on the drive back, the gas, the food, the hotels.
Really? So let's start with that one.
I tried to pay for my own ticket to help her move, which is a little ridiculous.
Well, that sounds ridiculous to me.
It really is. And she obviously charged me for it later.
No, it's ridiculous to me. That doesn't sound normal. If somebody's coming to help you pack and help you drive back, they don't pay for their own ticket. What's next?
Payments I made to her credit card companies on her behalf at her request.
When?
In September, October, November, December, January, February, April, and then June.
And what was the total amount of those?
A little over $2,200 and something dollars.
You made those payments directly to the credit card?
Directly to the credit card company.
Tell me why.
Because she agreed to pay me back once she got a regular job again.
Well, when did you go back to work?
I was out of work about 3 months.
When did she go back to work?
About 3 or 4 months later at the Home Depot.
So did she go back to work in December?
She was working in December, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, was she working in November?
No.
Okay, so she went back to work in December. When was the last time you paid her credit card?
In May of 2003.
How much did she pay you between December 2002 and May of 2003?
$170.
Well, why is it, madam, that you continue to make payments for her when she was working in Home Depot in December? Your agreement was that she would pay you back when she got a steady job. She got a steady job, and you continued to pay her credit cards. Why, Miss Donor?
Because she was not making enough money to afford her bills at the house as well as her own credit cards.
Well, but I don't understand. What kind of relationship did you enjoy with this defendant that would suggest to me that it's logical that you should pay her bills?
We were very close friends. She was like a sister to me. I would do practically anything for her that she asked me.
Well, then what happened, Miss Donor?
Well, we used to do a lot of drugs, and when I quit using, that's when our friendship basically dissolved, and I decided to move down a different road than she did. The rest of them, when we would be out, if she asked me, we'd be at the Target or something, she'd ask me for like some personal hygiene products or some
not interested in
stuff
that.
for
That's not what courts are set up to do. I'm not going through a laundry list of feminine products.
Right, exactly.
That you bought for her at Target.
I
You understand that, Miss Donor. You have receipts that you paid $2,200 and some odd dollars in credit card bills.
Correct. I have the canceled checks.
For the defendant, and she doesn't deny that. Is that right?
That's true, yes.
Okay. And you paid her back, according to you, $500.
Yes. I was making payments to her right before she moved out of my mother's house. I had a good job, was making payments, because she said, don't worry about the payments. Whenever you get it, give it to me.
Excuse me, Your Honor,
Okay,
she's lying.
shh. Now.
My apologies.
Fine. So she said, whenever you have it, you'll give it to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, and you said?
And I did give it to her whenever I had it. I paid her a couple payments, and she said, do you want a receipt? And I said, no, you know, I didn't need a receipt. We were friends.
How much did you give her?
A total of $500.
Show me.
I can't. It's on. I marked it on my calendar, just that I paid her.
Let me see the calendar.
Okay.
And make sure it's a calendar that I'm not going to find suspect.
I gave her receipts for every time she gave me cash, Your Honor.
No, you did not.
Shh, don't fight with each other. I don't understand what figures are you telling me I should be looking for here?
Just June and July in the red. Says
June
paid.
and July is a couple of dollars. $40, $20,
Right.
$20, $50,
Right.
maybe $200.
Right, correct.
Where's the $500?
Well, that's like $200, and I gave her $2 more.
Well, show me where.
Well, I don't have the counter. She has it.
She says you gave her $179. So you giving me a calendar, you say you gave her $200. Okay, that's $2,000 left. What happens to the rest of the money?
Well, I was paying her, and also when I first met her, she didn't want me to go back to work after the first bar I worked at closed. She said, just be my personal assistant and I'll pay you, you know. And we traded. I drove her around. I introduced everybody I know, you know, did things for her. Whatever she asked, I do. But I still was paying her back the money when I had it. I guess in June or July, we went to Austin, Texas together for my mother's birthday. And she charged me for the ticket, which she did not pay for. You know, I don't owe her all this money. And then that's when we probably had our falling out. She just acted weird. I think she wanted a different relationship than I was willing to give.
You owe her $2,000. Now let me hear about your counterclaim, madam.
When she moved out of my mom's house, my mother was asleep, and I wasn't there.
Your mother helped me move out.
I don't want you to speak.
Okay.
Until I look in your direction or ask you a question.
Okay.
And she had two friends come help her, and she didn't call.
Were you there?
No.
Well, then how are you telling me this?
Well, because the girl that helped her actually told me some things.
That's hearsay.
Right, right. Well, the things that were missing when she left the house that weren't hers.
Doesn't tell me anything.
That weren't hers. They weren't her
Doesn't tell
items.
me anything.
Right, she went through all my pictures, rearranged them all for me. These are all missing. Pictures when I didn't even know her.
You have to have proof, madam. Proof
Right, and you know what? She's taken any proof that I have. She's
well,
taken
then I
the
can't help
pictures.
you. I can't help you. Give her back her suitcase, please.
Okay.
Yeah, it's her suitcase.
Yes, it
Miss
is.
Donor said that that's your suitcase. Is this your suitcase?
Right, and
Miss
I do have
Flexa?
receipts from that one. That's the only thing I have receipts from, because she took all the receipts when she took the items, if I had any. I know I can't prove it.
So if you can't prove it, then don't waste my time with it. There's your suitcase, a very nice piece of luggage. You owe the plaintiff $2,000. Pay her. Thank you very much. Thank
Parties
you.
are excused. We'll step out. Guys. Oh, well. Down, this is case number 213 on the calendar, the matter of McGill versus Ty Little. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat.
Miss McGill, I assume this is your son, and it is your claim that the defendant's son drove your car, which was being driven by your son.
It's his car.
His car, but in your name.
Yes, I'm a co-signer of the loan.
How old is he?
21.
That he drove the car without permission, causing damage to the car to the tune of some $3,100. You want his mother to be responsible because he's a minor. How old are you?
17.
And Ms. Ty says that her son had your son's permission to drive the car and that he caused no damage to the car.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you friends?
Yes.
How long have you been friends?
A couple of years.
Where were you on the evening that this incident happened?
We were at Jared's house.
Who's Jared?
He was witness.
How old are you, Jared?
16.
He's 16, he's 17, you're 21.
Yes, ma'am.
Aren't they a little young for you to be hanging around with?
Yeah, well, we all skateboard together. It's just became friends through skateboarding.
And on what date did this happen, when you were all hanging around at Jared's house?
February 27th.
February 27.
What kind of car were you driving?
It was a 2002 Volkswagen GTI.
How did it come about that you got custody of the keys to this car on the 27th of February?
We're at Jared's house, and we got thirsty, and I asked him to drive his car to the store.
Just a second. Let's go slowly. Don't poke him.
Okay.
You were at Jared's house.
Yes.
How did you get there?
I used to live down the street from Jared, and I skated to his house.
And you were thirsty.
Yes, ma'am.
Who was thirsty? Raise your hands. Who was thirsty? Those two were thirsty. So what happened?
We went to, I asked him, Brian, for the keys to the car, and he gave them to me, and we went to the store. It took about 10 minutes, and we came back.
Why didn't he go with you to the store? What was he doing?
He was at Jared's watching TV.
How many people were there?
One other person besides us.
Who was the other person?
Blaine.
What'd you want to get to drink?
Coke.
How far away is the store where you buy Coke?
About 10 minutes.
You were going to go 10 minutes to get a Coke?
Yeah.
At midnight?
Yes, ma'am.
No. That doesn't sit right with me.
That's what we did. We went to the store, came back.
Who do you live with?
My mom.
You have brothers and sisters?
No, ma'am.
Just the two of you?
Yes.
Did your mother work?
Yes.
Was she at home that night?
No.
So it was just the four boys hanging out?
Yes.
Had your mother been home earlier that day?
Yes.
Where was she that night?
At her boyfriend's.
So you were having a little bit of a group over?
Yes.
And you went out at 12 o'clock to get a can of Coke. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You know that as the mother of children who were teenagers, a whole bunch of them, that doesn't sound kosher to me. You know what that means?
No.
No.
It means I don't believe you.
Oh, she wasn't there.
I believe she wasn't there, and I believe she was at her boyfriend's. And I believe you went out at midnight. I don't believe you went out to get a can of Coke
That's what
on a
we did.
20-minute ride. And neither do your mothers if they're smart. Sit down. So you were 10 minutes there and 10 minutes back, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
His car is a clutch. Are you familiar with driving a clutch car?
Yes, I've drove a car with the clutch before.
And you drove it reasonably and responsibly for the 20 minutes that you had it. Is that
Yes.
what you're telling me? Hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the name of the store you went to on the 27th of February?
Whataburger. It was
What?
Whataburger. It was a store restaurant
And where are they located?
on South Main
South Main in what world?
in Weatherford, Texas.
Now we'll get to you. How did he get the keys to your car?
Well, what
at
happened
me.
was we were over at Jared's house, and Blaine,
Blaine?
yes, he asked me if he could take my car to the store, and it was him, Brandon, and Jared. All three of them went to the store. They went to a gas station on the corner. It's about a block and a half up the street.
and they came right back, and everything was fine. And then Brandon left with our friend Lindsay and went to Whataburger with Lindsay. And I called Lindsay because I didn't have my keys, and I was wanting to go home. And I knew Brandon.
Where were your keys?
Brandon still had them because they took my car to the store earlier.
Well, that's when Blaine took the keys.
Yeah, Blaine drove to the store, and then apparently Brandon drove back from the store because he wanted to drive my car.
Okay.
And I fell asleep waiting on them to come back. And then when I woke up to them telling me they raced some car on the highway.
Who's them?
I think it was Brandon and Jared and Blaine.
Well, that's not what you say in your complaint. You said later that day you saw one of the kids from the previous night, and he told him that Brandon, that other person, he told him that Brandon had been driving his car Friday night and been racing down the highway. That's what you evidently told your mom, because that's what your mom wrote in her complaint. She didn't say that he admitted that he did that to you.
I think it was the next day that he finally admitted, but the people that were in the car told me what happened that night, and he apologized to me that night, and he told me...
Well, tell me what he said. I'm not interested in what somebody said to you that's not here. Tell me what he said to you.
He told me that he was sorry for what he did to my car, and he'd do what he could do to help pay for any damages.
I never admitted to messing his car up.
What did you say to him?
I said it was running fine when we came back.
Came back from where?
From the store.
He says that he gave the car keys to Blaine. Isn't that what you told me?
Yes, ma'am.
That was the first time.
Well, how many times did you take his car?
Twice.
Well, what time did you take the car the first time?
It was around 12.
And what time did you take the car the second time?
It was probably around 12:30.
Why did you take the car again at 12:30?
That's when we went and got something to drink. The first time it was Blaine, and we just rode with him.
So the first time you went with Blaine, you went to Whataburger.
Yes.
And you drove the car back.
Yes.
And Blaine got a soda.
Yes.
And a half hour later, you got thirsty.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
You know how ridiculous that sounds? It sounds ridiculous. Now, what happened to your car?
Apparently, they messed up the valves. I don't know exactly what happened.
I don't know exactly what happened either.
Apparently, the engine code was a speed code. What the guy at the Volkswagen dealership said was...
You can't tell me what the guy at the Volkswagen dealership said. That's hearsay.
Can I tell you what his mom told me?
Absolutely.
When I talked with Sherry, she told me that Brandon had admitted to her that he...
Shh.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All those 9 people were drinking Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Nobody was drinking alcohol.
No.
Nobody's smoking weed.
No.
Nobody's doing anything that they shouldn't have been.
No.
Just having a party.
Yes.
And later today...
You have a contract with a loan, don't you?
No.
No?
You should, especially when you're dealing with your daughter and a slick husband.
only reason he
I'm
did.
speaking. Don't you see my mouth moving, smart mouth?
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Karen McGill says her son's friend, 17-year-old Brandon Little, took her car without permission and blew the engine. Karen claims Brandon admitted to racing the vehicle.
Go ahead.
He did drive the car, and that I shouldn't be taking this up with her because it would be between Brian and Brandon.
You indicate here that somebody told your son that he was driving recklessly, but I don't have that person here.
I tried to call Jared as our witness because he was in the car with Brandon.
Is that right?
Yes.
Get up. Well, now he's going to be my witness. Up here.
And I tried to get Blaine to come also.
Well, I don't care what you tried. This is a court. I need witnesses. You know, I need people here that I can question. Like, how many times were you in the plaintiff's car that night?
One time.
Which time?
The second time.
Had anybody been drinking alcohol that evening?
No.
Had anybody been smoking weed that evening?
No.
Anybody been doing anything else that they shouldn't have been that evening?
No.
Everybody was nice and clean that evening?
Yes.
Did your mother know that you planned to have people over that night?
Yes.
She gave you permission to have how many people? Look at me.
At the most 9.
At the most 9. She
Yeah.
gave a specific number?
No, I don't know how many people were there, but at the most it was around 9.
And what you're telling me is that all those 9 people were drinking Coca-Cola?
Yes.
Nobody was drinking alcohol?
No.
Nobody's smoking weed?
No.
Nobody's doing anything that they shouldn't have been?
No.
Just having a party?
Yes.
Good. Now, you were in the car with him for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Describe how he was driving.
He was driving
Look at
around.
me.
He was
Describe.
driving okay. He stalled it a couple times, but that was about it.
Well, what did he say when the car kept stalling out?
Nothing. He just turned it back on.
Didn't say, oh, you know, something's wrong with this car.
Not that I remember.
Not that you remember. Just, you were just having your Coke.
Yes.
Did you open your Coke at the store, or did you wait until you got home?
I opened it at the store.
And did you finish it in the store?
No.
You finished it in the car?
At home.
So you put it in the holder and waited until you got home?
We bought the big ones.
How big?
Like, you know, like the big gulps. Like.
Did you share it with anybody when you got
No.
home? You drank it all by yourself?
Yes.
This is your lesson. Don't let anybody else drive your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I have to be satisfied, since he had your permission to drive the car.
He didn't have my permission.
Yeah, I believe he did. And you knew that he had driven the car back. And you gave other people permission to drive your car that evening.
The only person I gave permission to drive my car was Blaine.
I wouldn't give anybody permission to drive a car that wasn't fully paid for. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a feeling that there was more going on there than young Master Jared over there is prepared to tell me. But without some indication that he drove your car, because I believe he had permission to drive the car. He may not have had your permission. Maybe Blaine gave him permission. You gave permission to Blaine. Blaine said, here, take the keys and drive home. So he didn't steal your car. He didn't take your car.
We're not saying he stole it.
What?
We're not claiming he stole it. We're just saying he drove it recklessly.
Well, we don't know that because there are no witnesses that say he drove it recklessly. So I can't find him liable for those two reasons. A, he had permission, and B, there is no proof that he drove the car recklessly. So you fix the car, you better pay your mother back the money. Case is dismissed. That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was in 5th and went to downshift into 4th and put it in 2nd on the highway.
I didn't race this car.
He always told me he was going to admit that he did it.
I'm just a little confused why Jared would lie about the situation.
He did have to pay for it, but like I said, he loaned the keys out to my son, so.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Estrada versus Castillo. Step forward, please.
Plaintiffs Daniel and Deborah Estrada are suing their daughter, homemaker Yvonne Castillo, and her estranged husband, Stephen, for an unpaid loan to buy a house. The Castillos claim the money was a gift.
Miss Castillo, is this your husband?
Yes.
Are you separated or are you together?
Separated.
How long have you been separated?
For 4 months.
According to the complaint, you made a loan to your daughter and her husband in the amount of $5,100, and they did not pay you back.
Correct.
And you say that this was not a loan, but a gift.
Yes.
And you say anything? Do you say anything?
Yes, I talk. It was a gift.
What date did you give them this $5,100 and why?
We loaned them the money in order for them to help them out so they could purchase a house.
Why did they need $5,100?
Well, they had bills that needed to be paid off before they were able to purchase a house. And
How did you know that?
they informed us that they had bills.
Well, that's what I want to hear about.
We wanted to help them out in purchasing the house, so we offered to help them, you know, with a loan to pay off their bills.
You're not following me. Maybe she should talk.
Yes.
Okay, we have a rental house, and we decided to take out a equity loan, refinance the house, and I told my husband, why don't we help Steve and Yvonne buy a house?
When did you tell Steve and Yvonne?
That was sometime before September of last year.
Tell me the conversation.
We asked them, if we loan you the money, how could you pay us back? So we talked about if they bought a house using the equity or using their income tax return, and they agreed to the conditions.
Okay, and now I'll hear you.
But it wasn't a loan. I mean, it wasn't a gift. It was a gift, not a loan.
Listen
I'm
to
sorry.
me. Listen to me.
Go ahead.
Don't get to the bottom line first.
Okay.
Tell me what your recollection is, Yvonne, about the conversation that you had with your mother.
Debbie said,
look at me,
that if they gave us $25,000 for a down on a house, it would have to be in where they say in Moreno Valley. And that once we bought a house, we would have to, the taxes, like 4 years of taxes that we get on the house that we buy, we would have to give to them.
So that if they gave you the money, because you'd be saving a certain amount of money on your taxes if you owned a house and had a mortgage, for the next 4 years you would give them back the money that you got on your tax returns.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
I'm not asking you anything. And what did you say?
We both agreed that yes, that would be
satisfactory. So they didn't give you $25,000, but they gave you $5,100 towards the 25?
Yes.
It was given. We helped fix the Holly house she was speaking of. We helped fix that house, and that was the $5,000 that was given to us to fix that credit that we had to do.
Is that what happened, Yvonne?
That's the way I see it also.
That's not what I asked you. Was that the agreement?
No.
No. How long after you got this $5,100 did the two of you separate?
About 5 months after.
You have children?
Yes.
How many?
2.
Do you work?
No.
And you were working 2 jobs?
Yes, ma'am.
And still having difficulty paying off your bills?
No, the bills are paid.
Well, they're paid with the $5,100.
Yeah, well, I never would have took the money if I knew I had to pay it back. I couldn't afford to pay it back.
Well, what were you going to do with the bills, Steve?
Well, in time, I would pay them
What
off.
were you going to do with the bills?
I was going to pay them off in
Right,
time.
in time you were going to pay them off.
Right.
And the bills were being accumulated with how much interest?
I don't know.
How much interest were they charging you on the $5,100?
There was no time period of paying it back.
Right.
There was no...
Just listen to me. So you intended to pay back the credit card company, and here they were giving you an opportunity to clean up your credit, getting rid of credit cards with 12 and 14% interest, and all you had to do when you got your income tax returns, pay them back. That sounds like a bargain to me. Doesn't that sound like a bargain to you?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't? Well,
No.
explain that to me. Bert and I would really like to hear that. One that's costing you 14% and one that's costing you nothing. Would you say the one that's costing you nothing is a bargain?
Right, if it's a loan, yes.
It's a loan.
If a
Your
loan-
wife says it's a loan.
There's no contract. You have a contract with a loan, don't you?
No. You should, even when you're dealing with your daughter, especially when you're dealing with your daughter and a slick husband. But very often, you don't. You have an agreement. And the agreement, as long as there is an offer and an acceptance and a meeting of the minds, that's a contract. Only certain things you have to have in writing by law, like selling property, land. You
The only
need that.
reason he-
I'm speaking. Don't you see my mouth moving, smart mouth?
Yes, ma'am.
Your wife says that there was an agreement that you did not put into your statement that said that they were going to give you this money and you were going to pay it back with your income tax refund over 4 years. She's not a liar, is she?
No.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000, which is the total amount that I could give you, sir. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's all.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Listen to me. Listen to me. You separated? You might want to think twice about getting back together with him. He's a little slick for me.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Versus Mashoud. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Rose, you rented a room from the defendant, and according to your complaint, you were forced to move out early.
Yes.
You want prorated rent.
Yes.
You certainly want your security deposit back. And you want compensation for what you say were very nasty things that the defendant posted about you on the internet.
That's correct.
The defendant says that you chose to move out. You don't get compensated for choosing to leave before the end of the 30 days. That your cat did some damage to the rug, so you don't get your security back. And she acknowledges she wrote nasty things about you on the internet, but she said everything she wrote about you was the truth, and the truth is a perfect defense.
That's very true.
When did you move into this room, Ms. Rose?
On May 1st, on April 22nd, I answered an ad.
Do you recall what it said?
It said that I was going to be a roommate, that it was $400 for the rent, that she had 3 cats, and 1 more would be great. And
No, just a second. That's not what the ad said.
Yes, it did. It said she had 3 cats and 1 more would be great.
Oh, that's what the ad said?
Yes.
It must be a very long ad. Where was it?
Craigslist.com.
.org. .org. Correction. Tell me what happened when you went and looked in the house.
It was 11 o'clock at night. She said that it was dirty, but she would clean it, and that the hot water in the sink was broken, the pipe, but she would fix it before I moved in, and the toilet that I was renting out with the bathroom was broken as well, but that would be fixed as well.
How many rooms did you look at?
3 different rooms, and this is the one that I chose.
This is the one that had a broken sink, a broken toilet, and was filthy. Is the one that you chose, Miss Rose?
Actually, it was the rent. It was cheaper than normal. Others were asking for $650, so I figured I was only going to be here till the summer. It should not be an issue.
Was the toilet fixed?
No, the toilet was never fixed, and neither was the hot water, which I had to eat out because I couldn't wash dishes. There were maggots in the sink. There were roaches, flies.
Who else lived in the house?
It was supposed to be just myself and Sheena, and she brought her crackhead mother in, who has no teeth and has tattoos everywhere, who she failed to mention was an ex-convict who had been in jail for 12 years for a violent crime. Not only that, but...
Just a second. When you moved in May 1st, was her mother there?
No, her mother was not there.
When did her mother move in?
Her mother started coming by in the middle of May and started hanging out, bringing her other crackhead friends who had no teeth.
I'm a dentist's daughter. Let's not talk about the teeth. Let's talk about the drugs.
Okay.
What makes you think that she was using crack?
Because I came home the night before I moved out, and her friend were smoking crack in the living room.
That would give me a clue.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your mother incarcerated for, Miss Michoud?
I believe it was theft, and she violated her parole several times.
She violated her parole because of her drug use?
No, it had to do with the fact that she wasn't seeing her probation officer like she was supposed to when she was released early.
Listen, if you're released early and you want to stay out of jail, unless you're involved with drugs, you usually see a probation officer.
Well, actually, the problem was that she moved back to Colorado without asking her probation officer, and she stayed out there for 3 years.
Well, that would be a problem.
Yes, obviously, as the rule was that she was supposed to keep in
How long was she incarcerated?
I'm not sure. I never lived with my mom as a child, so.
When was she released from prison?
At least 5 years ago.
How come she started to come to your house?
Because I previously, before she had ever moved in, had paid my mom to come to my house to clean my apartment because I work 18-hour days. I have 2 different jobs. I work a bar job at night, and during the day I'm a special effects makeup artist. I work very hard, and I don't have time to spend, even if it is 4 hours that I get to sleep, to spend cleaning up my apartment.
You mean there's nobody else that could clean your apartment other than your mother?
Well, I don't trust anybody else to come into my apartment because I have many things that are worth a lot of money.
So what you're telling me is you trust your mother?
Yes, I do.
The mother who she says, and I believe her,
yes,
invited somebody into your home and they were smoking dope in your house.
Nobody else other than my mom was invited into my home.
Well, she did. Bring somebody else into your home.
I had never seen the person.
Well, I'm telling you, she did. She did, so your judgment wasn't very good. In choosing your mother, listen to me, your judgment wasn't very good in choosing your mother to clean your house.
I believe my judgment was just fine. Aside from the fact that she had been incarcerated before, it doesn't mean that she would do anything like that again.
Well, she brought somebody, listen to me,
mother.
She brought somebody into your house and they were smoking dope
no
in your
proof of that.
house.
Who is that?
I believe her.
I'm glad you believe her, but I don't know that that's true. I know that my mom has not been on drugs for many years. I know that she does have permanent psychosis because of doing drugs for many years, and that is true. But she's not a current drug user, otherwise I wouldn't bring her into my house because I wouldn't trust her around my stuff personally.
Ms. Michoud, that's your problem. You want to have this unabiding faith in your mother with whom you say you never resided when you were growing up, who was incarcerated most of that time. That's up to you. I absolutely, 100% believe her when she says that she came home the day before she moved out and your mother was in the house smoking dope, which, as far as I'm concerned, gives her the right to leave in the middle of the month.
Well,
I'm speaking. What day of the month did you move out?
It was the 18th.
So you want prorated rent for the 12 days that you weren't there?
That's correct.
Okay, and how much does that come to?
$146.50.
My mother had not moved in at that point. She was a guest of mine.
Excuse me? Shh. Listen to me. She doesn't. Listen to me very carefully, Miss Michoud. She doesn't. Listen. Try to listen. I know you've got a lot going on in your hair and your face, everything else, but try to pay attention. She doesn't have to live in your house. You have invited a guest into your home, your mother, who was involved in behavior that I believe could have endangered someone else who was living in the house. If the police had come to your house and found your mother and someone else in possession of crack cocaine in your house, everyone in the house would have been involved in that drug sweep. So she was very smart to move out. And since you have acknowledged that you invited your mother into the house for the purposes of cleaning, you can't say she had no right to move. She did have a right to move. And since you invited this problem into your house, you have to compensate her for the 12 days in rent that she did not have use and enjoyment of her room.
Well,
that's my ruling. You may not like it. That's why
She
you
failed to
go
mention
to
that her boyfriend
that's
is a
why
speed addict,
I'm speaking.
and he's in
listen,
my and he's
listen
staying
to
in
me.
my house.
Listen to me very
For
carefully.
the whole time she was there.
Listen to me very carefully, madam. I don't know where else you work or what else you do to enhance your senses, but in my courtroom, I speak, I listen.
Obviously, you don't listen very well.
No, I'm listening. You're not hearing what I'm saying because you don't like the answer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm not going to ask her how she's going to establish that you committed the kinds of sex acts that she attributes to you because it's really unseemly. Suffice, I'm speaking.
And later today,
Somebody standing there with an open door, primping, while I'm waiting to get into a parking space, would rile that out of me. I can't even tell you what it would do to my husband.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jenny Rose says ex-roommate Sheena Mashoud owes for the return of rent and a security deposit. Jenny also claims Sheena slandered her via the internet.
How much is your security?
$200. I have a copy of the sublease as well.
Can I see it, please?
And I have a copy of the letter she told me to vacate immediately.
Okay.
She wanted me to pay for her mother's rent for the next month.
Listen. Did you write this letter? There will be a $500 rent increase for your bedroom and private bathroom starting July 1st. Did you write this?
Yes, that's what
All right, good.
Hutchinson told me to do.
$146.50 and $200 for your security deposit. Do you have any pictures of the ruined rug that was allegedly caused by her cats?
No, but
Good. Now I would like to see what was written on the internet.
This is a networking site that my coworkers, my supervisors and boss, as well as my family and friends read. I was contacted by one of my coworkers.
Well, the one thing I do know for sure, Miss Mashoud, is that you have a filthy mouth.
Thank you.
And I assume that you work in this town?
Yes, I do.
Good. I certainly hope that enough people, since we do have a reasonable audience in this town, watch this and know that I personally am offended that a woman would use the kind of vulgarities that you do written. I don't think, quite frankly, Miss Rose, that any fair-minded, reasonable person would accept anything that you wrote here as true.
Oh, of course not.
Because she clearly is a demented, sick girl. I don't know how she finds work in this town, but clearly there are a lot of demented, sick people who want demented, sick employees. That's the problem here sometimes. I can't judge that. Clearly, this is miserable. I'm not going to ask her how she's going to establish to my satisfaction that you committed the kinds of sex acts that she attributes to you, because certainly you don't want that, and I wouldn't, because it's really unseemly. Suffice, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Am I going to speak at all this?
No, go speak outside to somebody who wants to hear you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $346.50. Thank you.
Toodles. I had invited my mother over to clean my house while I was on vacation, and she accused my mom of being a thief. Those who look like trash and act like trash are usually trash. She's been nothing but a terror to me, pretty much like a little yipping chihuahua. I'm glad I don't have to deal with her crackhead mother and the fact that she has no teeth and thinks she's a lot, which she's not, so it's good. I'm happy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hardison versus Jarvis. Step forward.
Crystal Hardison is suing fellow motorist Robert Jarvis for vandalizing her Ford Explorer by kicking it. Crystal claims her mother witnessed the incident.
Ms. Hardison, what kind of car do you drive?
It's a 2005 Ford Explorer.
What about you, Mr. Jarvis?
95 Mitsubishi Galant.
What was the date of this incident?
June 2nd.
And you were going into a drugstore to get a prescription filled?
Exactly.
And what were you going to do there, Mr. Jarvis?
I was pulling in to get her my fiance a drink and a candy bar.
Was she with you?
Yes.
And you were both going to the same store, so you pulled in first?
Yes.
And it is your claim that Mr. Jarvis intentionally not only spit on your car, but also dented it.
Yes.
Mr. Jarvis says he might have spit on it, not intentionally, but he certainly didn't dent it. And your mother was with you.
Exactly. And my 11-month-old son.
Well, he's not here to testify, but your mother certainly is. When you went into the store, Miss Hardison, your mother remained in the car.
Exactly.
And when you went into the store, did your fiancé remain in the car?
Yes, ma'am.
She pulled in first.
She was already parked.
Tell me what she was doing, Mr. Jarvis.
Well, as I was pulling in, I was waiting on her for about 2 to 3 minutes while she was brushing her hair with the door open in the parking place.
So you were waiting to pull in because she had the big door open for this SUV, brushing her hair.
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you waiting?
2 to 3 minutes tops.
Did you honk the horn?
No, I was just sitting there waiting to get in, being patient.
Why were you brushing your hair?
I'm pretty vain. So before I go anywhere, I always put my makeup on, brush my hair.
You were going to pick up a prescription.
Exactly. And that's my nature. If I'm going to a local store, I'll put clothes on, do my hair, and put my makeup on.
Hadn't you done all that before you went in?
I sure did,
Before you
but
got
I just
into the
wanted
car?
to make sure everything was straight.
Didn't you see Mr. Jarvis waiting for you?
At the time that I opened my door to get my brush out my purse, no, I didn't.
But there came a time when you did see him waiting for you.
I saw a front end of a car behind mine, yes.
And you continued to finish brushing your hair and then you put the brush back?
No. Once I saw the front end of the car, I said, oh, he's waiting, and I closed my door and went directly into CVS.
What happened when you came out?
I got to my driver's side door, and I saw there was spit on the window. I opened my door. I said, Mom, somebody spit on my window. And she can tell you the rest.
Step up, please. What is your last name?
Durante.
Tell me what happened that day on the 2nd of June in the parking lot.
Okay, on the 2nd of June, my daughter had to go to the pharmacist to pick up a prescription. And she got out of the car, opened the passenger side.
That's we got past the fact that she was
Okay.
brushing her
When
hair
she-
to make sure she looked perfect.
Okay.
Never know who you're going to meet in the pharmacy.
Exactly.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Crystal came out. She says, Mom, who spit on my car? I said, don't worry. I got his tag number. I was sitting in the car on the passenger side, watching an incident on Route 1 to my right, and I see this man walk up to the car and just cover the window with spit. I said, I'm going to get his tag number. I went to get my purse. When I went down to get my purse, the whole car, Judge Judy, just like, yes. I looked up, I saw him, I heard his door, bam, slam. He was going, he closed his door and walked behind his car and got into the driver's side.
Okay, so a passenger door slam, and then he walked around to get into the driver's side?
Yes.
And the passenger side door was where your car was?
Yes.
Got it. Now, do you have any proof of damage to your car?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because, Mr. Jarvis, I'm going to save you the trouble, sir. According to your answer, you were having sinus problems that day, so
Yes,
you
ma'am.
spit.
Yes.
You don't know where it landed.
No, I didn't have no intention of spitting on a vehicle. No.
It was just a bad sinus.
Yes, I had sinuses all
And
that day.
you caused no damage to the plaintiff's car.
Absolutely not.
Now I'd like to see the... Okay. See, I'm going to saved you all that trouble.
Your car's green.
My car's green.
But your boot isn't damaged.
And besides, my car door don't go that high.
It may not have been your car, sir.
And I was never on that side of the vehicle. I was driving.
Mr. Jarvis, what you're asking me to do is to say to this lady that she's lying. Now, common sense, which is really what we're about here, suggests to me that you were annoyed at this young lady.
No, actually, I wasn't.
Well...
I was being patient.
Well, listen. Then you are the only one I know who, under those circumstances, wouldn't be annoyed. I would be infuriated.
But to be cussed and belligerent...
Just a minute. I would be infuriated if I was sitting there patiently and somebody was not just putting a baby in a car, because that you wait for, you know, adjusting a car seat or whatever, but somebody standing there with an open door, primping and brushing their hair while I'm waiting to get into a parking space would rile that out of me. I can't even tell you what it would do to my husband.
Can I speak?
Sure.
Can I have her come up?
If you want to.
I'd just like to say that night when the police contacted us, the only thing that they said was that he spit on the window, When he called back to the police department, the police officer said that this was ridiculous and dropped it. 30 days later, we received it stating that there was damage. Why that night was there no record at the police department?
I
of
have
any
no
damage?
idea. Maybe they couldn't see it.
And she drove all the way home and the spit stayed on the window?
Listen to me.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Does she listen to me?
Free
dear.
money. That's
I'm
what they're
speaking.
trying to get.
Does she look psychotic to you? No, listen to me. Not the daughter who was primping, who has to comb her hair before she goes to pick up a prescription. I'm talking about her mother.
I'm going to tell you, I'm a nurse. People are psychotic all the time and they don't look
Listen
it.
to me. Well, listen. I've been around twice as long as you have. This lady is not psychotic. This lady did not take down your tags and report this matter to the police because she was having a psychotic episode. That's my judgment. Now, let me see how much it costs to fix your car.
Okay. I have two estimates.
You have a 10-year-old car.
$578 for Windex is a little ridiculous.
Oh, it has nothing to do with Windex?
There's no dent caused by him. That is definite.
That's just trying to get free money, is what it is.
I never got out that car, so nobody was ever on that side of the car at any point. I was in that passenger side of that car.
Nobody suggested that you did any damage to the car, madam. Cheaper of the estimate is $369.80. Is that right?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $369.80. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
What is all that stuff?
This is stuff that I brought that I don't have actual receipts for, just to show you that.
What is it?
It's the Unity candle, some table decorations that we made, the candle stands.
Bert, could you do me a favor? Could we get rid of that? I don't need all that stuff here.
Where do you want me to put it?
I put it on the floor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ma'am, take this stuff, put it on the floor, please. Thank you.
Perfect. Ms. Wells, this is what the case is about. Mr. Sharp is your soon-to-be ex-son-in-law. He and your daughter had a very short and unpleasant marriage, and it is your claim that he had agreed to pay for half the wedding. The loan lasted longer than the wedding.
Correct.
Now they're going to get a divorce, and you want half the cost of the wedding, which was, you say his half was $7,000?
Correct.
Mr. Sharp says, listen, I never agreed to pay for a big wedding. So, Mr. Sharp, this I assume is your soon-to-be ex-wife?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were the two of you dating before you decided to get married?
4 months, Your Honor.
What?
4 months.
And whose brilliant idea was it to get married?
Mine, Your Honor.
Could you speak up
Mine.
a little bit? I'm old. I have...
Mine. Mine.
Did you give her a ring?
Yes.
How much did you pay for it?
I want to say about 200 and maybe 34 bucks, 40 bucks.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for Sun Cruise Casino and a gambling boat.
And how much do you earn a week?
I make 8, but I bring home like 7. 700.
A week?
Every 2 weeks.
Okay. When your daughter came home and showed you the engagement ring and told you that Mr. Sharp had asked her to marry him, what did you think?
I didn't approve of it. I didn't like it because they didn't know each other that long, but...
Well, that's a good judgment on your part. When you saw the engagement ring that he bought your daughter, what did you think of it?
I didn't have any thoughts. I mean, I
Did
thought...
you think that he wanted to get her the best possible engagement ring he could?
That he possibly could,
Listen, listen to me. Did you think that he wanted to get her the best possible engagement ring he could afford?
Yes, I did.
And he spent $230 on the engagement ring, which was the best he could afford, right? That's what you thought.
I didn't know how much it cost him.
But it wasn't. We're not talking about the Hope Diamond here.
No.
Now, who wanted the big wedding?
Richard did.
Did you?
Yes.
Why?
At the time, I was in love with her. Then, after we got married,
Listen to me, Richard. You didn't take any snoozy pills this morning, did you?
No, ma'am.
I want you to listen to the question. Your mother-in-law says you were the one who wanted the big wedding. Is that true?
Yes.
Who was supposed to pay for it?
She was.
Your Honor...
Shh. Why was she supposed to pay for a big wedding if you wanted it?
So
Do you want to take a nap?
No.
Who is this?
My stepfather.
Step up here with him. Tell me your name.
Frank, Your Honor.
Frank what?
Enoch.
Mr. Enoch, do you understand my question?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss Wells wants your stepson to reimburse her for half the wedding. Ordinarily, I would say, listen, that's ridiculous. Usually, it is the bride's family's responsibility to pay for the wedding.
Your Honor...
I'm speaking. My father and mother paid for my first wedding. They paid for my second wedding. And then my father said, the next one's on you. However, You see, I'm having trouble communicating with your stepson, sir, because I'm not quite getting the fact that he's wrapped too tight.
He's nervous, that's all.
He doesn't look nervous, Mr. Enoch. He looks tired. Are you nervous?
Not really.
I can try harder.
I don't think you'll be able to make me nervous.
Do you understand what I'm saying
I
to you, Mr.
understand what you're
Enoch?
saying.
So Miss Wells says he's the one who wanted the big wedding. I don't know why. It's usually the bride that wants the big wedding. You didn't want a big wedding?
No, ma'am.
Step up here with your mother. Why did he want a big wedding? He had a whole bunch of friends?
When he was working at the car lot, he was inviting people he didn't even know that would come and make a payment to our wedding.
I want you to tell me what happened when you started to discuss the cost of it.
We sat down, and me and my mother explained to him, we don't have this kind of money. We don't even know these people. If it was, if it was some people he knew, then fine, but he didn't know these people.
So what did he say?
He said, well, I think they should come anyway, and I'll pay for half the wedding since it's mostly my people that I want to come.
Is that what you said?
No, ma'am.
How many people were at the wedding, Mr. Sharp?
There's about 120, 140.
How many people were at the wedding?
73.
Of the 73 guests, how many were his family and friends and how many yours?
60 of them was his.
You mean you had 13?
Yeah, because we not from Florida.
60 were his family and friends?
Yes.
And 13 were your family. Is that right?
Correct.
Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
How many were your family and friends?
My family was 5, and there was maybe like 3 or 4 friends of mine.
Your Honor, I have the wedding pictures. I also have the kind of people that you're dealing with. This is public record.
I don't need to see the kind of people that I'm dealing with. I just have to try to figure out whose responsibility is to pay for this fiasco.
Fiasco is correct.
These pictures?
Yeah, let me take a look at the wedding pictures. Miss Wells, is this your only child?
This is my only daughter, yes.
This is your only daughter?
Yes.
You should go around the desk praying 3 times, get down, kiss the floor, and say, thank God she got out when she did.
You're correct. I agree.
Because you don't have any children with him, do you?
No, ma'am.
But for the grace of God, you could have had a grandchild fathered by this guy.
No, thank you.
I agree with you.
No, thank you. Really.
Unless he's
thank you.
Unless he's hiding something from me that I don't see.
Well, you're not missing much.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What was the nature of the felony that you were convicted of?
Sales and possession.
How many times?
Twice.
That doesn't mean that you sold only twice. It means you got caught twice.
I got caught twice.
And later today,
It appeared that Mr. Martinez did not realize that he collided with Miss Farmer's vehicle. You know why that was?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cheryl Wells says her estranged son-in-law, Richard Sharp, owes for half the cost of his wedding. Richard claims he never agreed to pay.
Okay, who was in this picture? Can you see it from there?
Yes.
Who was in this picture?
That's me, Jack, Bill, Terry.
Who are they?
Friends of mine.
Friends of yours?
And the one guy, Jack,
Just
I
a
used
second.
to work
You
for
said
him.
3 or 4, so that these are the only people at the wedding that were your friends?
There might be a little bit more, but other than that.
Who are these people?
That's my stepbrother, and that's her stepfather.
Okay, so you got a stepbrother here.
Yes.
Was he in this picture too?
No, ma'am.
These people come with their significant others, or they come stag?
They came with others.
With others?
They came with the.
So you got to do this times 2, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's more than 3. Even you could tell that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Madam, it's clear to me that he had certainly more than 3 or 4 people at the wedding. So what you're telling me is he said to you, these are the people that I want at the wedding, they're friends that I work with?
Not friends that he works with, but he was working at a car lot, and people that would come in to make their payments that he would talk to just to make their payments, he would invite to our wedding that he did not know.
Your Honor, I had to finally put a stop to it because this list was like 300 people.
Who was supposed to pay for all these people, all these strangers?
I felt that I was going to pay for them, but as soon as she said she put a stop to it, I said, okay, never mind then.
All right. Now, where were they married?
At the Ramada Inn.
Had you taken the Ramada Inn before or after you had this discussion with him about inviting too many people to the wedding?
I'd already talked to the Ramada Inn, and then when he kept adding
No, I want you to make sure you give me the honest answer. You had gone to the Ramada Inn, you have to give them a deposit and reserve the date.
Correct.
Had you done that before you had the discussion with him?
Yes, but he kept adding to the list.
You don't have to repeat it. I understand what you're saying to me. So you had already taken the hall, and initially he was not going to pay for half the wedding. That's according to what I'm gathering now. It was not until after he started adding all these people.
No, Your Honor, that's not correct. He agreed to pay for half the wedding.
No, that's incorrect,
we went
Your
to
Honor.
the.
I was there when it was discussed.
No, I don't believe that, Miss Wells.
But that is
Listen to me.
honest.
Miss
No.
Wells, I don't believe that. I don't believe that
true.
somebody who buys a $230 engagement ring makes a knowing decision to pay for half the wedding that, according to you, cost $14,000.
I wanted them to elope. I offered to give them $2,000 so I didn't have to pay for this big wedding. He had already agreed to.
Now you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Good. Now I'll hear you. But make sure you're telling me in a loud, clear
I
voice.
did not agree to pay for half of this wedding, Your Honor.
Well, tell me what happened.
What happened is I started adding people to the list, and she said, no, I can't afford all these people to come, Your Honor. So I said, okay, well, we'll stop all them people, because who even knows if half of them people are going to show up.
Your Honor, that's not right, because I even paid for his probation. He was supposed to pay me that back as well, and he has not even done that.
And her daughter paid her back out of that with her income tax money, Your Honor.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is you were on probation, you had certain fines,
Yes, ma'am.
and she paid your fines
With her income tax.
because you didn't have the money.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how could you reasonably expect him to pay $7,000 for a wedding when he couldn't even pay his own probation fine?
We paid his probation off so he could get off by the beginning of February for our wedding.
You working?
Yes.
Pay your mother back for this wedding.
No way.
Pay your mother back for this wedding.
I've paid her half of the wedding already.
I don't believe that he agreed to pay you for half the wedding.
He didn't, Your Honor.
I don't believe that.
Your Honor, he did agree to pay for that wedding.
Do you have that in writing someplace?
I don't have papers for that.
You should. You're dealing with
Well,
someone who is a
no.
convicted felon. It would seem to me if someone agreed to
Your
pay.
Honor, he goes to church every Sunday.
I'm speaking. I have to come up in my mind, if he agreed to pay you, which I doubt, but let's say he said, I'll pay for half the wedding, whether there was any legitimate and reasonable expectation that this person who spent $200 for an engagement ring and couldn't pay his probation fines was going to be able to pay for a $14,000 wedding. What was the nature of the felony that you were convicted of?
Sales and possession.
Sale and possession of what?
Cocaine.
How many times?
Twice.
2 different arrests?
Yes.
That means you got caught twice.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that you sold only twice. It means you got caught twice.
I got caught twice.
Well, then you are smart.
Yes, ma'am.
Pretty smart. Because
Well,
you.
not pretty smart for selling drugs.
But you were pretty smart. You did it a few times and you didn't get caught, right?
I should have done it at all.
I asked you a question.
Yes.
Just a second.
Yes.
Don't tell him what to say, Mr. Enoch. I think he understands me pretty well, sir. I think he's keeping his cool because I don't think that with this kind of act, this young woman would have said yes to this proposal.
Your Honor, can I say something? Please.
Go ahead.
He goes to church every Sunday. We thought that he was reformed. I mean, you're supposed to give everybody a chance. And that's exactly what we did. We believed him.
And the reason that the wedding was ended is because he moved in with his girlfriend that he had before we were married.
No. Your Honor, this lady, my soon-to-be ex-wife, she thinks I am sleeping with this girl, Melissa, okay? Me and Melissa ain't together.
Ma'am.
She would not sleep with me because I am married to this young lady here. And I got to respect
So
that
you've
woman
asked her
for that.
to?
Listen to me. I just wanted to hear him talk because so far I've had monosyllabic conversations with him, and I wanted to make sure that he was more together than he was presenting. I'm speaking more together than he was presenting to me a moment ago. I do not believe that he agreed to pay for half the wedding. It's unfortunate. And my advice to everyone out there is don't spend an awful lot of money on first weddings. Wait for the second one. They usually hold out a little bit better.
Your Honor, he
I'm sorry,
did
Miss Wells.
agree.
So I don't believe it. That's all.
Audience are excused. You may step out.
I don't believe I just said. He's a straight-up liar, and he knows he is. He's a con artist.
I think it's just all a bunch of, excuse my language, I think it's a bunch of bull, to be honest with you.
He is a liar and a cheater.
I don't owe not a dime to this.
I don't want to be around him.
I'm just going to walk away and wash my hands with this whole situation.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Farmer versus Martinez. Step forward, please.
23-year-old Cammie Farmer is suing Jose Martinez for a late-night fender bender outside a nightclub. Jose says it was Cammie who backed into him.
Ms. Farmer, you claim that Mr. Martinez damaged your car in a parking lot, and Mr. Martinez says that the accident was both of your faults, so you should each pay for your own damage. You were all exiting a club that evening.
Right.
So what I'd like you to do is to go over to that chart that you've prepared and show me where the exit was.
This is the exit right here.
Okay, so there's a steady stream of traffic that's going sort of in the center.
Right.
And what happens is, I assume that a car in the center lane lets one car in from one side, and then another car goes. It's sort of alternating egress from the parking lot.
And there was police officers in the parking lot directing traffic.
Now, what kind of car were you driving?
A 2000 Chevy Malibu.
And Mr. Martinez?
A van.
So tell me what happened.
As I was trying to exit...
That was you. You're in the red.
This is me. I'm the red, and he's the blue. So as they're exiting, and I'm waiting in line for them to exit, I guess he got impatient and was in a hurry or whatever and tried to go around me. And his back van door was open. So as he's trying to go around me, his door caught my left bumper and my left tail light and shifted my trunk.
You have pictures of that?
No, I don't. I put it in the shop the next day, so I didn't take pictures.
Well, after his van door hit your car, what happened?
The police officer that was standing back here directing traffic directed us to pull this way and exchange information.
And you did that?
Yes.
You have a police report?
No, because it was on private property and there was no injuries, the police officer didn't take a police report, but he gave me a statement.
I'd like to see it. This is Police Officer M. There were 20 vehicles in the parking lot attempting to leave. Okay. So what I want you to do, sir, is to give me your version of what happened. Because I will tell you now, Mr. Martinez, the police officer observed what happened.
Okay.
So before you even think about trying to fabricate a story, I suggest you think hard about what happened.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened. Well, that night, me and my friends threw a party at a club in Union City.
I don't care.
And,
listen to me. I don't care. Get to the parking lot.
Okay, the parking lot. Okay, well,
And
like I
look
say,
at me when you're talking.
Okay, we was partying. You know, everybody had a little liquor in them.
Not me.
No, just a second.
Okay, well,
you had a little liquor
I had a
in
little
you.
liquor in me. So I'm like, we was exiting the parking lot. And could I show you on the ground? Oh, this is the parking lot. I guess this is how you get out. I'm right here, she right here. I'm going up. When I was coming up, she was coming back. So we both hit each other. The reason I didn't really file no counterclaim because I figured it was both our fault.
No!
That's why I did that.
Well,
where was I going?
Now, just a second, just a second. Get back there.
Okay.
First of all, you had no business being behind the wheel of a truck or a van or a vehicle if you had been drinking.
Yeah.
Because it clouds your judgment.
Right.
And let me tell you what the police officer said.
Okay.
The police officer said he observed a black van with its passenger side sliding door open as it was attempting to drive around Miss Farmer's vehicle. In trying to do so, the black van side door collided with the right rear taillight of Miss Farmer's car. Mr. Martinez continued driving along the side of Miss Farmer's vehicle, causing more damage. It appeared that Mr. Martinez did not realize that he collided with Miss Farmer's vehicle. You know why that was?
I realized.
All right. So let me see an estimate, please.
I got 2 estimates. The shop that I went to gave me a discount.
Okay, but you had it fixed.
Right.
Well, how much did you pay to have it fixed?
$827.60. Here's the receipt.
Good, great. What I'm surprised at is the police officer didn't cite you for driving while under the influence of alcohol.
I also have rental car receipts because I had to get back and forth to work, and I also had a daughter that needed to get back and forth to school.
Who do you live with?
I live by myself.
I'll see them.
The receipts are in my mother's name because she rented it, but I gave her the money, cash.
All right, the judgment's for $970. That's all. Step back.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Calendar in the matter of Zilma versus Zemlicka. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, huh?
Ms. Zilmer, how long did you room with the defendant while you were in college?
We have lived together for 2 years.
And then, according to your complaint, you recently signed another year's lease.
Right.
And the defendant moved out prior to that second lease starting, leaving you to pay 14 months' rent.
Right.
On your own.
Yep.
The year on the new lease plus 2 months on the old lease. And Ms. Zemlicka says that she absolutely moved out because you invited people to the house, you had underage drinking parties, people either stole her property and or damaged her property. It was really unsafe for her to stay there, and that you should have tried to get a new roommate for the new lease or gone to the landlord, tried to negotiate out of the lease, but she is certainly not responsible. When did you, Ms. Zemlicka, start to have problems with the plaintiff with regard to who she was bringing into the apartment?
The first incident where I began to feel that things were unsafe occurred on January 25th, 2004. During that weekend, I was not present at the apartment. I had gone to my hometown, to my parents' house, and during that weekend, Kaylin Zilmer had several people over, and there was an underage drinking party that occurred.
How did you know that?
I know that because I was told by both the plaintiff and by a mutual acquaintance of mine.
Well, you can't tell me anything about the mutual acquaintance. Did you have a discussion?
Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit.
I would come back at the end of the day, and Kaylin's guest would say to me, well, what the hell were you doing? Why were you slamming doors this morning? I wasn't slamming doors.
Okay, next. Move on.
Next, she had an underage drinking party on May 1st, 2004. During this underage drinking party, chairs belonging to me were broken. A fight occurred that I was told about by both Kaylin and Mindy.
Okay, so you weren't happy. When did you move out?
On or around June 14th, 2004.
When had you signed a new lease?
In the middle of March.
So March you signed the new lease, and when was the term of that lease?
The term of that lease was set to begin on August 15th, 2004.
And you moved out in June?
Correct.
Why didn't you get a new roommate?
Ms. Zemlicka had left a note for me the last day she moved out saying she'd be back in August.
Can I see it, please?
And aside from that note and all...
Home for the summer, back on Sunday for the rest of my stuff, back for good in August. When did you write this note?
When I left in June.
Well, if you left in June, were you intending to come back?
At that point I was, because I had not yet talked to my lawyer.
You see, Miss Zemlicka, if you were moving out for cause and you wrote her a note and say, I no longer consider it safe here, please try to get a new roommate in June or in May, because a lot of these things happened in May, I would say to the plaintiff, listen, you have an obligation to mitigate your damages. In June, the possibility exists for her to still get another roommate. But if she's holding off because you've assured her that you're coming back in August, that's unreasonable. You were fooling her, right? You're her father?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Sure. You were fooling her. You were saying, I don't know what... You can move over. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I want an opportunity to speak to my lawyer, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do. Now, when did you finally tell her that you were not going to move back?
I sent notice.
When?
June 23rd, 2004. I have a copy of the letter right here.
Let me have it. Where's the notification that you sent to the plaintiff?
I did not send notification to the plaintiff.
Why not? June 23rd, you sent notification to the Capitol Center Apartments.
Because
why didn't you send her notice?
I did not send her notification because things had deteriorated so rapidly and so far at that point that I did not feel safe talking to her anymore. I had
Just a
received...
minute, nobody asked you to talk to her. What you have to do is send her a notice. And you never did.
I did not. However, my parents were in contact with her parents and did inform her mother that I would not be moving back in.
How do I know that? That's hearsay.
No, Judge, I talked to her mother. I'm Jennifer's father, and I did talk to her mother and said it's no longer capable of being resolved. Kaylin doesn't want to talk to Jennifer. Jennifer does not feel safe there, so there's nothing that can be done except to move out.
Your Honor, my hearsay was that he had talked to my 18-year-old brother, and that my mom actually talked to...
Just a second. They did the wrong thing. You may have done the wrong thing by having these people over that she didn't want over her home when she's not there. You understand that. But you have absolutely no right to first send her a letter indicating that you were coming back in August, despite the fact that there had been problems, so you were tricking her. Then you went to see a lawyer. Your lawyer gave you whatever advice the lawyer gave you. As a result of that, you did have the good sense to send a notice to the apartment complex. Did you get an answer from the apartment complex?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Let me see the answer.
They did not contact me in writing. They contacted me through a voicemail.
No. That's hearsay. Because if they were going to let you out of the lease so that she was no longer responsible under the terms of that lease, it would have been in writing. And you did not get that. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I believed I needed to move out to protect my own personal safety.
And you have an absolute right not to live someplace where you're uncomfortable. You don't have the right to trick her, which you did.
And later today,
there's no way to tell whether it was my Tommy guns, cherry bombs, Black Widows, 4th of Julys, etc., that actually caused the damage. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kaylin Zillmer says ex-roommate Jennifer Zemlicka owes for breaking their apartment lease. Jennifer says it wasn't a safe place to live.
Your Honor, I was also sent a letter by Kaylin Zillmer claiming that she was responsible for the lease and for the rent because she was still living there. And I received in July.
That would be my half of the rent.
Of course she's still responsible because she's still living there. That doesn't mean you're not responsible. You wouldn't be responsible if you did the right thing. You did the wrong thing.
I believed I needed to move out to protect my own personal safety.
I don't disagree with you. Not your own personal safety. It had become uncomfortable for you to live there. Put your hand down. It had become uncomfortable for you to live there, and you have an absolute right not to live someplace where you're uncomfortable. You don't have the right to trick her, which you did. You tricked her into thinking that you were coming back at a time when this is, I assume, a college town where people look for apartments up until the end of the school year. You led her to believe that you were, in fact, coming back in August. She did not seek another roommate. You notified the apartment complex of your intention not to come back, but you never notified her. You could have just as soon sent her a copy of the letter. Then you would have put her on notice. Then I would have said, now listen, you have the obligation to mitigate your damages starting in June. You may not be able to find a roommate right away. Maybe she's only liable for 6 months' rent or 3 months' rent until you find a roommate.
And Your Honor,
but you didn't do the right thing. You can't just walk out. Now, who's living in the apartment?
I am, Your Honor.
Who else?
Just me.
What efforts have you made since you were notified that she was not intending to come back to try to find another roommate?
I have been to different websites. I have left up flyers around campus. I have a website to roommates.com, so I have made efforts to cover her half of the rent.
Just a second. And what's the rent on the apartment?
It's $9.40 a month.
When were you notified that she was not going to move back to the apartment?
In August.
Are you telling me that you didn't know until August that she wasn't coming back? Is that what you're telling me?
That's right.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live, Kelly Zillmer. I live down the road from Kaylin.
Who do you live with?
I live with 4 other girls.
When did you sign your lease on that place?
Well, we signed the lease in December for the upcoming year starting in August. So our lease started August 15th and runs till August 14th next year.
And if you could find another roommate at your house, you could move in with your sister. Is that right?
Well, there's not many people looking for roommates anymore since college started.
Well, people come in January, do they not?
Yeah.
Sure they do. So we have September, October, November, December, January. That's 5 months, right? She's got to pay you for 5 months. You did not give her adequate notice. You gave her, as a matter of fact, no notice whatsoever of your intention to move. It was only through a third party that she found out that you did not intend to come back. You cannot do that. She's obligated to pay for the rent, and she's the one who's suffering for it because you evidently found another place to live. You're paying nothing, and she's paying for both of you. That's unreasonable. You have a right to move out of the apartment if you feel unsafe. You also have an obligation to give her notice of your intention and not to trick her, which you did. You tricked her, and you can't do that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,350. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was concern for my personal safety and also concern with the irresponsible acts that were going on that they might negatively impact my teaching career and my future in the teaching profession.
I am not a big drinker. I do not keep drinks in the house. I have never used drugs. So I don't really know where this all stemmed from.
Some people just aren't compatible when it comes to living together.
I'm just real happy it's over.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bump versus Hansard, step forward, please.
Policeman Marcelo Bump is suing his neighbors, Jamie Hansard and his brother Nathan Hansard, for damaging his Mustang GT when they shot off fireworks on the 4th of July.
Mr. Bump, the two defendants are your neighbors.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that last July 4th, your two neighbors were setting off firecrackers. Some of the firecrackers landed on your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Causing damage to your car's paint.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want them to pay for the damage.
Yes, ma'am.
The two defendants acknowledged that they were setting off firecrackers.
Yes, ma'am.
But that there were a lot of people setting off fireworks. And there's no way to tell whether your fireworks were the ones that actually caused the damage.
Yes, ma'am.
Marcelo Bump says neighbors Jamie Hansard and his brother Nathan Hansard damaged his brand new Mustang GT when they shot off fireworks on the 4th of July.
Now, how old are you?
30.
And you?
I'm 25.
Are you related to each other?
We're brothers.
Do you live together?
Yes.
Who else lives with you?
My 3 children.
Now tell me about the fireworks you were setting off.
We were shooting fireworks that...
What kind?
They're different names. Some Tommy guns.
Tommy guns.
Cherry bomb.
Cherry bomb.
Black Widow. Black Widow. 4th of July.
Just a minute. Black Widow.
4th of July.
So you had at least one of each of these things?
Several.
Where did you buy them?
North Carolina.
Where do you live?
Georgia.
You bought them in North Carolina. And where did you shoot them off?
In our parking lot.
In Georgia?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you buy them in Georgia?
Because you can't buy them in Georgia.
Why not?
They're illegal.
So you just traveled a little bit and went to North Carolina and bought them there.
Yes, ma'am.
And despite the fact that the law precludes you from using them in Georgia, you used them.
Yes, ma'am.
And now you expect a court to be fair to you. Is that what you're telling me?
I admit I broke the law. But damaging his vehicle is a different story.
Just a minute. No, you're not saying that you didn't damage his vehicle. What you're saying, I believe, is there were a lot of people that were violating the law, and there's no way to tell whether it was my Tommy guns, cherry bombs, Black Widows, 4th of Julys, et cetera, that actually caused the damage. Because there were a lot of people.
There were a lot of people shooting fireworks, so...
There's no way to tell. Is that right?
There's no way to tell that it was ours, no.
Correct. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am. We don't believe that his vehicle was damaged by fireworks, period.
Fine. That's a different story. If there was no damage to his car, then you wouldn't be responsible. But let me tell you something. When you break the law, and you broke the law in front of your 3 children, which is even more vile, because then what you're teaching your children is there are certain laws that are meant to be broken. There are certain laws you can pick and choose what laws you want to obey. That's the message you're sending to your children. It's ridiculous for the state of Georgia, where we live, not to have fireworks. So you don't have to obey that law. If you want to shoot off fireworks, you can. Is that the kind of message you want to give to your kids?
Some may portray it that way, yes.
What do you mean some might portray it that way? That's exactly what you did. You knew it was against the law to purchase fireworks. You knew it was against the law to shoot off fireworks in the state where you live. Despite that, you, who are the custodial parent for 3 children, who was supposed to teach them the difference between right and wrong, you've taught them that they can selectively choose what laws they want to adhere to and what laws they can break. Because they say, listen, my father breaks the law. My father does things that the state says he can't do. you're teaching your children that breaking the law is okay, and that's the wrong thing. And then you can't come to court and say to me, or to any judge, he has to be able to establish beyond a reasonable doubt that it was my fireworks that damaged his car. No, he doesn't. He just has to be able to prove that you, against the law, were shooting off fireworks in the proximity of his car that could have damaged his car, at least in my world. The issue is not really whether you are responsible if there was damage to this car. You're responsible. The issue is, was there any damage? That's what you say. There was no damage. So, now, we've established one thing. Now you can show me the damage.
Ma'am, I have some digital pictures taken of the vehicle.
You have an estimate to fix it?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I have pictures of the same vehicle and the same area that show no damage, and they were taken 3 days ago.
Let me see. Let me see both.
I also took several shots of other parts of the car to show that weren't any damage did either. Because I believe the estimate that he had stated that front fenders, hood, several parts
Oh,
were
I
damaged.
see the damage, sir. I don't know where your eyes are. I see it. It's just that your pictures are farther away than his are. His are close by. I see the damage, the exact same place where it shows here, right above this little thing. I see it. You should look a little bit closer or get your eyes checked.
Okay.
Anything else anybody wants to say to me?
I have an estimate that states what he was claiming. His estimate claims as far as clear coat on the damage of a car can't be damaged by fireworks unless they're shot completely, right on the paint. Something that hit it or landed on it said it can't be damaged. I don't know. That's just a statement that a body shop says.
You have a witness here for me to read?
No, ma'am.
You don't have?
No.
Yes, we do have a witness.
You have a witness?
I have a witness to state what we did, but not as far as
I know
the
what
body
you
shop.
did. You told me what you did. You illegally purchased fireworks and you illegally shot them off. What do I need a witness? Is that what they did?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Well,
Your witness corroborates that. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $923. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Lorsch, you and the defendant were together for about 7 years, according to what I read in your complaint, and engaged for 3 or 4 of those years. You broke up, and you want returned to you some furniture, and you also want the engagement ring back. Ms. Watkins says the furniture's been in her house for years, never asked for it back. As a matter of fact, you don't even want the furniture back. You want the value of the furniture because you've already replaced it. And as far as the engagement ring is concerned, she said she hasn't seen it for years. So either you took it back or it was lost. And you lived together for 2 years after it was lost. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. When did the two of you live together? During which period of time?
Well, I'd say from 99 to 2003.
And when you left, did you take anything with you?
No, Your Honor, I did not.
Your Honor, that's not true.
What did he take with him?
He took his couch. He took the bedroom set that was
Just
in
a
my
second.
bedroom.
Did you take the couch? When you moved out, sir, did you take the sofa?
Your Honor, yes, I did.
I do speak the language, and I assume you do too, so I don't know why you're confused. Did you take a bed?
Just a bed and headboard itself, yes.
Okay. What else did he take, Miss Watkins?
Well, those are the main furniture things that we had there.
Those are the furniture things. Now we're a year later, more than a year later, and you want a refrigerator, not the refrigerator, the cost of the refrigerator. And you want some bedroom furniture that you purchased because each of you had a daughter.
Correct.
And you bought some bedroom furniture so that the 2 girls could be in the same bedroom.
That's right, Your Honor. It made it more
Okay.
comfortable for my daughter to be in her place. Like I said, she provided daycare for me for the whole time that we were together, and I was paying her daycare fees.
We're getting, Mr. Lorsch, listen to me. We're getting beyond ourselves, sir. I like to keep things very simple. When you moved out in June of 2003, did you ask her for the refrigerator?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
That's not true.
Shh, just a second. Don't say anything that's not true, because I will make you look very foolish.
This was something...
Just a second. Don't say anything that's not true, or I will make you look very foolish. And you don't want that. So, I'm going to start all over again. Did you ask her for the refrigerator in June of 2003?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Okay. And did you ask her for the children's furniture in June of 2003?
At that point in time, no, Your Honor, I did not.
But you did ask her for the refrigerator?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say?
She thought that I owed it to her.
And what did you say?
I said, I think, your new boyfriend can get you a new refrigerator.
Okay. And what did she say?
She said, I think that rightfully belongs to me now.
Okay. And that's the way it was left.
Yes.
You did not sue her for that, right?
Not at that point in time, no, I did not.
Over a year ago. Nor did you sue her for the children's furniture, correct?
I did ask her for the stuff on occasion.
Listen to my words very carefully. You did not sue her for those items in June of 2003.
It was a continuing discussion over the year.
When was it a continuing discussion, Mr. Lorsch? Was it a continuing discussion each time you would take your daughter there for her to provide daycare?
More like on a monthly basis.
And you had this conversation with her on a monthly basis while she was taking care of your child. Is that what you're telling me?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, when your daughter was not with Miss Watkins, was she back in your home with you or your former wife?
My former wife, yes.
Did she ever come to stay in your home?
Yes.
For a day, or 2 days, or 3 days?
3 or 4 days usually.
Yeah. Oh, shh. And when she came to your home, did you feed her?
In the evenings, yes.
And when you fed her, did you use a refrigerator?
Yes, I did.
Where'd you get it from?
I had to purchase a new one to replace the old.
When did you purchase the new one?
I have that in here.
Well, why don't you tell me about it?
May 7th of this year.
So is what you're telling me, Mr. Lorsch, between June of 2003 and May of 2004, you lived without a refrigerator?
No, I had a portable unit.
So you had a refrigerator?
A small one, yes.
Good for you. Now, when did you purchase new bedroom furniture for your daughter to sleep in?
Actually, I do not have it yet.
You don't? So where was your daughter sleeping? She wasn't sleeping with you.
She is either sleeping on the couch or she'll sleep in a sleeping bag in her room.
In a sleeping bag in her room?
This is on call. They're supposed to call me when it's delivered.
Is what you're telling me the way that you provided for your daughter when she was with you is to have her sleep on the floor? Is that what you're telling me?
No, Your Honor. At the time, I had a day bed.
There we go. That's better. In what year did you purchase the bedroom furniture that was in Miss Watkins' home?
That was November 30th of 2002, like 6 months before she decided she didn't want to be with me anymore. It's awfully convenient.
No, there were a lot of nights, sir, between November of 2002 and June of 2003.
Yeah. It's only 6 months, Your Honor.
That's a lot of nights. Now, where's the engagement ring?
It's gone. I took it off because I wasn't ready to be married. I took it off. The next day where I put it, I went to get it. It was gone.
When was this?
I think he took it.
When?
Oh, gosh. Approximately two years ago, maybe possibly 3.
Did you discuss the fact with Mr. Lorsch that you didn't have the ring?
Yeah, I went to get it, and I said, I took the ring off, and it was gone. I still think he took it because he's so controlling, and he probably took it until the time that he, because we were still dating, and so he probably...
Listen, when you live together, and you share a room, and you share a life, and you have children over, that's not dating. Dating is what you do when somebody comes to your house, picks you up on a Friday night, takes you to dinner and to a movie, and then brings you home. That's dating.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I am a master at ferreting out the truth. So as smart as you think you are, you're not smarter than I am. We understand each other, Mr. Lorsch?
And later today...
At what point did you drive?
On the way home, back to her house.
Miss Sessom, I don't want you to say no unless you were there. And you weren't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jean Lorsch says ex-fiancée Karen Watkins owes for the return of a bedroom set, a refrigerator, and an engagement ring.
And Mr. Lorsch, while you were living together, do you recall a time that she no longer had the engagement ring?
When she said that she, didn't want to date anymore.
No, look at me. Don't look down at your papers. My question to you is...
I asked her at that time.
Just a second. Mr. Lorsch, do you see how foolish I made you look 5 minutes ago? If you don't see it, everybody else has seen it. Now, I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to give you another chance, sir. Did there come a time while you were living together with Miss Watkins that she was no longer wearing the engagement ring?
At the point she called it off, yes.
Good.
I asked her about it then, and she said she stopped wearing it 2 months prior, which was
Okay.
just last year.
So there
Not
was
2
a
years
time,
ago.
listen to me. So there was a time while you were living together that she was not wearing the engagement ring. Is that right?
According to her, yes.
No, according to you. I said there was a time while you were living together that she was not wearing the engagement ring.
That seems apparent, yes.
It was apparent. Now, when you saw that she was not wearing the engagement ring, did you continue to share a room with her?
No, Your Honor.
Yeah, I want to listen. You know, you're trying to think of how to answer these questions so that this decision will go in your favor. And I'm telling you only one thing, sir. I am a master at ferreting out the truth. So as smart as you think you are, you're not smarter than I am. We understand each other, Mr. Lorsch?
Yes, Your
My
Honor.
question to you is a simple one, sir. Now that you have acknowledged that while you were living together, she stopped wearing the ring for whatever reason, what kind of discussion did you have with her about the ring?
If she was calling the engagement, I asked her if I could have it back. She says, I have misplaced it, and when I find it, I will return it to you.
After she said she misplaced it, did you ever see it again?
No, Your Honor, I did not.
Now, after you broke up in June of 2003, it had been, let us say, months that she hadn't worn the ring. Did you say to her, did you find the ring?
Yes.
And what did she say to you?
Haven't had a chance to look for it yet.
That's not entirely true. He never asked for the ring. Is what he would do is threaten me and point at me and say, if you don't find that ring, I'm going to take you to court and I'm going to ruin you in court. And that's what he used to always do to me, is point at me and corner me and threaten me, you know.
So he asked you for the ring. He demanded the ring back.
As a
Now,
weapon.
we're not talking about the Hope Diamond here. We're talking about a ring that, according to you, Mr. Lorsch, you spent $700 on. Is that right?
That's correct.
Get over it. Mr. Lorsch, if you lie about one thing, I doubt the veracity of everything that you say. Do we
Your Honor, she's
understand
li-
each
she
other?
lies in
Do we
court,
understand? Do we understand each other? It's not her burden, sir. It's your burden. So when you come to court, it's your burden of proof to go forward and convince me that you have just cause. And what you've said in your complaint is, I don't want the refrigerator back, and I don't want the bedroom furniture back. I wanted to pay me the replacement value of it, because I went out and I bought a new refrigerator a year later, and I went out and bought new furniture that I haven't gotten yet. Get a
Your
life.
Honor.
Mr. Lorsch, you're out of here. Goodbye. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Come by the daycare and tell me he wanted, and he'd corner me. He held me captive in his house.
We'd been friends ever since we broke up.
As long as I'm around, he'll always be last place.
I believe that finally I can get him out of my life and he can move on, I can move on, and it'll be good.
I have a feeling it'll still continue.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sisson versus Chapman. Step forward, please.
Assembly worker Linda Sisson is suing her son's ex-girlfriend, 21-year-old banquet server Tessa Chapman, for the cost to fix her Chevy Cavalier. Tessa says the only reason she drove the vehicle was because Linda's son was drunk.
Ms. Sisson, the defendant is your son's former girlfriend.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she drove your car and had an accident.
Yes.
You want her to pay for the damage.
Yes.
When did the accident take place?
April 3rd, 2004 at 1 a.m.
You weren't there, is that right?
We were sleeping.
So you didn't see what happened?
No, I did not.
Okay, Miss Chapman, and you say you're not responsible. Let me hear about it.
George Anderson and I were hanging out at his mother, Linda Sisson's house for
George Anderson is your son?
Yes.
A few hours later, George had asked me to drive to the store with him. While we were driving to the store, I realized he was intoxicated.
That is not true.
Shh, listen to me. I don't want you to say anything. You weren't there. I've asked her a question. Got it?
Yes, Your
Good.
Honor.
So you and the plaintiff's son were hanging around at her home.
Right.
When had you arrived there?
Probably at like 10 o'clock around.
10 in the morning or 10 at night?
10 at night.
And where had you been before that?
My house.
So you drove over to his house?
No, he came and picked me up.
In whose car?
His mother's car.
When he came to pick you up and you got into the car, was he intoxicated?
No.
How long did it take you to get back to his house?
About 10 minutes.
And you went directly to his house?
Yes.
At what time did you go to the store?
Like 12:30.
Between 10 p.m. or 10:10 p.m. when you arrived back at George's house and 12:30 in the morning, what were you doing?
We were watching TV and we had a couple beers each.
Where did you get the beers from?
His house.
So each of you had a couple of beers. Is that right?
Yes.
And then about 12:30, who decided to go to the store?
George.
You say in your answer that the reason you were driving was because George was drunk.
Yes.
Not according to what you tell me now. According to what you tell me now, the two of you had a couple of beers.
He must have been...
He what?
There was another girl there named Stacy, and they were off in another room for a little while also, so they could have been drinking without me knowing.
They could have been, and I could have been 5'6", but I'm not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Linda Sisson claims her son's ex-girlfriend, Tessa Chapman, wrecked her Chevy Cavalier. Tessa says she was forced to drive because Linda's son was drunk.
So, when he asked you to go to the store, and you said yes, you knew that you had been drinking.
Yeah.
And you knew that he had been drinking.
Yep.
At what point did you drive?
On the way home, back to her house.
Miss Sesson, I don't want you to say no unless you were there. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you weren't, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me about the accident.
We were driving back. The ride was fine on the way back, and we got back to the house, and I went to pull into the driveway. And in their driveway, there's a little metal pipe that sticks up, and you can't really run it over, so I was backing out to straighten up the car to pull into the driveway. And the cars on the road were parked very close to the driveway, and I accidentally scraped the other car.
Now, what makes you think you're not responsible?
Because I feel as though she's suing me because I broke up with her son.
That's possible. That she decided to sue you now because you broke up with her son. There was no longer a reason for her not to pursue this remedy. My question to you is, why don't you think you're responsible? That's her motive for suing you.
Because George was drunk and I wasn't drunk on the way back from the store, driving back.
Well, Miss Chapman, you had certainly, according to you, been drinking that night.
Yeah, but 2 beers in a course of 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
And that's all you told me you saw George drink.
But he was driving very recklessly on the way to the store.
Then you can get out of the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this?
That's my mother.
Do you live at home with your mother?
No, I live at my own house.
Do you get along with your mother?
Yes, but she
Does she live in the same town that you do? Do you have other people that you know in town?
Mm-hmm.
So that if he was driving, according to you, recklessly on his way to the store, then you say, George, I'm not going to get back into the car with you. And you call a taxi to take you home. But if you get behind the wheel of her car and you have an accident and you've had alcohol that night, you're responsible. And the fact that she may not have pursued this matter while you were with her son, and now you're no longer with him because where is he? Drug rehab, he's in jail, where is he?
He's in rehab, getting treatment.
Good, I'm glad. How much was the damage to your car?
It was $1,300, which I had to pay a $500 deductible. And when I found out about the accident, the doorbell rang at 7 o'clock in the morning. And
I don't care how you found out about the accident.
Well, she admitted to me, Tessa admitted to me that morning when I woke them up to find out what happened to my car, and she apologized because my son came out and told Tessa to tell me that he's not taking the rap because he didn't do the damages, and she did
No, he's a prince.
And she did the damages.
He's a prince. How old is your son?
22.
How long has he had a drug problem?
Maybe about three weeks prior.
You're in denial, madam. What kind of work was he doing?
He was in and out of jobs.
Had he been arrested previous to his current rehab?
Yes.
For what?
For a stolen vehicle.
Yes. What else?
False identification.
What else?
Counterfeit money.
She doesn't get a free ride. She should not have gotten in the car with him. She should not have been driving that night. She is responsible for your out-of-pocket expenses. And if I had a kid who was in this much trouble, I would have taken my car keys and locked them up in a safe to make sure that he didn't use them. Right?
Yes.
Good. So, you got to pay her deductible, Ms. Chapman. It's your responsibility. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 188 on the calendar in the matter of Wyatt versus Grogan. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Wyatt, you have a baby. Mr. Grogan, I assume, has been established as being the father of that child. You say he's responsible for some expenses involving the child's birth and initial few months of the child's life because he's now paying child support. So I have a few questions, Miss Wyatt. When did you and Mr. Grogan have this relationship?
We had started the relationship in the summer of 2003 when he moved back to Iowa from South Carolina.
Had you known him before?
Yes.
For how long?
Approximately 6 years.
Did you have an exclusive relationship with him?
Not at that time, no.
In 2003, did you have an exclusive relationship
Yes, we did.
with him? Did you discuss marriage?
No.
So this pregnancy was an unplanned pregnancy?
Correct.
Now, I know that this is a silly question, but how did that happen?
Failed birth control.
Failed birth control. Because it's been my experience, and I've been around for a long time, that there are no accidents.
Correct.
There are only on purposes that look like accidents. And these on purposes usually end up with you having to raise a child by yourself. Mr. Grogan, who is not totally without responsibility,
No,
right,
ma'am.
Mr. Grogan?
No, ma'am.
Because it takes two to have precaution. And there's nothing wrong with having double precaution, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't want to have a family. You have other children?
Yes, ma'am. I do have one other daughter.
And you?
I have 2 boys.
And how old are your 2 boys?
7 and 9 years old.
And where's their father?
Their father lives in the same town that we do.
Were you married to him?
Yes.
For how long?
7 years.
He pay child support?
Yes, he does.
How much child support does he pay?
$670 a month, and just recently stopped when he stopped working.
He pays $670 a month for 2 children?
Correct.
And how much child support do you pay, Mr. Grogan?
If you include the expense for insurance, it is right at $600 a month.
For 1 child?
Yes, ma'am.
Gets expensive when you're not careful.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how old is your daughter, Miss Wyatt?
11 and a half months.
And tell me, what expenses do you think Mr. Grogan owes you for?
When we were together, before he left down for South Carolina for the birth of his first daughter, he had promised to pay for any baby items that we would need.
What do you mean to pay for the birth of his first daughter?
He moved back to Iowa in the end of August of '03, and he had another woman in South Carolina pregnant due to have his child the end of April.
You had a very fertile period there, Mr. Grogan.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
We started working together. We started a relationship, and I got pregnant with our daughter. In November, I told him of that, and he said that he had still planned on going down to see the birth of his first child. He had no intentions of staying there. With her, it was just a one-night thing, and he was only going to stay down there for 2 or 3 weeks while she was born, and then he was going to come back up here, take care of our daughter, and stay with me.
That's not exactly.
He did not come back. It was one excuse after the other of it'll be in a couple more weeks, it'll be a couple
Miss
more
Wyatt,
weeks.
you've not have 2 children. You understand that a commitment means, honey, would you marry me? I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to have a family with you. I want to live with you. I want to take care of you. I want you to take care of me. That's a commitment. Then after you do that, then you think about having a baby. You don't do it the other way around. You do it the other way around. You're just looking for trouble.
I actually offered the commitment, Your Honor. I asked for her. I told her I would pay for move her and the boys down to South Carolina. I said, give it an honest 6 months. I said, if you do not like it, I will move you back. I even told her that we could get married. At this point, her mother had decided that she hated me. She wouldn't defend me with the family. I called her every day. I wish I had the phone records. Unfortunately, I don't. But I called her every day from the day I left almost until the day that Lauren was born, just to find out that 2 to 3 weeks before, just to find out that she had already had another boyfriend and that he was moving in with her.
Mr. Grogan, you weren't married to this woman in, where is it?
South Carolina.
South Carolina
No, ma'am.
either.
No, ma'am.
So you already knew that it was possible for somebody to get pregnant without benefit of marriage, right? I mean, even
Yes,
I,
ma'am.
at my age,
Yes,
know
ma'am.
that. And so it would seem to me that you would have been smarter in this relationship. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You already had one lady pregnant out of wedlock expecting a child, and then you have another relationship in Iowa, so it would seem to me at that point you might want to wear 2 galoshes instead of 1. Are we understanding each
Yes,
other,
ma'am,
Mr.
I
Grogan?
understand that.
What?
2 galoshes. I like it. I like it.
You know, make sure that it's foolproof. Because he caused an awful lot of pain and a lot of discomfort. Doesn't mean you're off the hook. Because ultimately, you're the one with the responsibility. I assume this is your mother?
Yes, it is.
And I assume that your mother has some sort of responsibility?
Yes, she does.
She didn't ask for the responsibility. She didn't even enjoy the event. But she has all the downside.
Correct.
That's selfish. Very selfish. Now, what kind of expenses did you have for the child? Give me an idea.
We had to buy a baby bed, car seat, clothing, diapers, formula, everything that a baby needs, strollers.
And did you pay for that?
Yes, I did.
And how much was it?
For everything that was purchased before her birth was $1,658, and I have receipts.
I don't want to know what was purchased before her birth. What were her expenses after she was born?
After her birth were the same things. Clothes that she would outgrow. She would need more clothes. She would need
how much
more
did you
formula. After she was born, I have no idea.
From age 0 to 7 months when he started to support the child?
Probably close to $2,000-3,000 a month.
Where'd you get that?
Or not a month, I'm sorry, the entire time.
And where did you get that money from?
I have borrowed money from my mother, my grandmother. My boyfriend helps out.
Well, he ought to. He's living there.
It's not his daughter.
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'd worked out of my home as a daycare provider.
Why can't you do that now?
I am starting that back up right now.
Well, when you start that, are you going to go to court and ask that his child support be reduced? Absolutely not. Right?
No, I won't.
So let's not get there.
And later today,
I went up to Desiree and asked if I could use her cell phone, and she said I could.
And then what did you do?
And then I remember giving it back to her.
That's not what you say in your answer. So get it together.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sandy Wyatt says the father of her daughter, Fabian Grogan, owes for their child's miscellaneous expenses. Fabian says Sandy is keeping him from his daughter.
What kind of work do you do, Miss Wyatt?
I work at home, raising my children.
So I would assume this $600 a month the court directed him to pay and didn't allocate any amount of money to you for the child support because you're a stay-at-home mom. Is that right? Well, I want to tell you something. In my world of the law, if you choose to have a third child, you cannot choose to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. That's not a prerogative for you. If you choose to have another child, that was your choice. You can't say you are totally responsible for the child's support because I'm going to have this baby and I'm going to stay home and take care of it. You don't have that right. You have 50% in my world. You have 50% of the obligation to support that child. In this country, mothers and fathers stand on equal footing. They have equal rights, and that's what the Supreme Court says. They have equal rights, then they have equal responsibilities. And equal responsibility means that you pay half of the support. And the court has determined that the child needs $600 a month support. Cut that in half, because $300 a month of that belongs to you. You choose not to work? He's not going to pay for you not working. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
3 times 7 is $2,100. Not $5,000. $2,100 is what I attribute to him for the child support. Is that reasonable?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a second. That's reasonable. Otherwise, get a job. You have a financial responsibility. You may have the 100% emotional responsibility, Miss Wyatt. That's your choice. You chose to do that.
Right. And I also had 100% financial responsibility for all the things that had to be purchased that before she was born that he promised me, and he had had conversations with my mom on the telephone promising to pay for these things, which he paid nothing.
There, he's going to pay $2,100. Period. For the first 7 months of the child's support. Now he's going to pay for the next 20 years all of the child support. Because when was the last time you held a full-time job?
Full-time?
Full-time.
It's been
that
over
you can
a year.
prove by what?
It's been over a year.
And how long did you have that job?
I had worked out of my home as a daycare provider for over 6 years.
Well, why can't you do that now?
I am starting that back up right now.
Well, when you start that, are you going to go to court and ask that his child support be reduced? You're going to go back to court like a fair person and say, I am now working full-time, so this child support order of $600 should be reduced? Absolutely not. Right?
No, I won't.
So let's not get there. Now, you want to tell me about this nonsense visit that you're counterclaiming about?
Like I said, I couldn't be there for Lauren. Well, I found out about Joe before Lauren's birth, so I did not make it for Lauren's birth. I had made those arrangements. But at Christmas, I cashed about $1,200 worth of checks, which I spent the entire amount on a trip going to Iowa to be able to see Lauren. As far as I'm concerned, the price of seeing Lauren is every minute is priceless. You couldn't put a price on that.
Good. So how many hours did you see her?
8 at max.
Good. Did you have a good time?
I did. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Good.
But she was supposed to make Lauren available to me. She told me I could see her as much as I wanted to. She did not make her available to me. She kept me at bay.
Do you have a visitation order now, sir?
The only orders I know of are just the child support order.
Well, let me tell you this, Mr. Grogan. You have the absolute right to seek a fixed order of visitation with your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And you should have a fixed order of visitation so that you can see her regularly. But that requires you to go to court, be proactive. You need not even get a lawyer with regard to that. By the way, when did you have a DNA test, sir?
I have not.
Why not?
I fully believe that she's my daughter. I have no reason to dispute the fact that she's my daughter.
Okay. I'm glad that you think that you're absolutely positive that this is your child. But I think it's always wise for people, especially in circumstances where they are not married and they have not been living together during the course of their relationship, to be 100% certain that the child for whom you are paying support is your biological child. We understand each other, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I cannot tell you how many cases, unfortunately, that have appeared before me over the years where people are certain, both parties are certain, that this is a biological child of theirs. And it turns out that something else happened. You understand what I'm saying to you? What?
I was just going to comment on his counterclaim. When he had drove up here from South Carolina in this alleged $1,200 visit, he drove clear across the country with no driver's license.
Listen to me. Listen to me. That's not the issue, madam. The issue is he drove cross country and he was met with a few obstacles to visitation. He has to have an order of visitation so that you do not fix the time when he can see his child. The court fixes that time. That's what he needs.
Your Honor.
And I'm telling you, while he's there, you ought to ask for a DNA test. Now go back to court and get an order.
I'm going to have to. The last conversation that we had, she told me I would never see Lauren again without a court order.
Oh, good. You see how he threatened me into dropping this lawsuit.
Now I've come 2,500 miles. I'd like to be able to see my daughter while I'm here. I mean, I haven't seen her since Christmas. I try to
find
out.
Now? Just a second. You mean now? Where is she?
Upstairs somewhere.
Oh, good. We will arrange for that visit. We can arrange for that visit. We can arrange in my chambers. We can arrange for the visit. You have no objection to that, do you? You have no objection to that, do you?
If he's sober, then no, I don't.
Just a second. Well, he's good. He's not going to...
He's very rarely sober,
Listen to me. Listen to me. He's sober now, and he's going to see the child in chambers. Do you have any objection to that?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Very good. So I want you to get the child, bring the child down to my chambers. We'll arrange for you to have a half-hour visit.
Thank you.
Reasonable?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,100, and the counterclaim is dismissed. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
That's his child. Well, it's my child, but he helped bring her into the world.
Of course, I love her very much, and I hope I get to see her as much as possible.
He can just go around the country and continue making babies and not take care of them.
With her mother, I just don't think she's going to allow that without dragging it back into court.
Any man that does that isn't worth marrying.
And that's not good for me or the baby.
Women should watch out for this guy.
Lauren and I got to spend 30 minutes together, as the judge promised. They loved every minute of it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Perez versus Snyder, Pendolino, and Meadors. Step forward, please.
Office assistant Kimberly Perez is suing her daughter's schoolmate, 13-year-old Brianna Snyder, and her mother, homemaker Stacy Pendolino Meadors, for the cost of a missing cell phone. Kimberly says her daughter loaned the phone to Brianna, who in turn loaned it to her friend.
Who's Desiree?
Right here.
Could you step up, please? And you're Brianna?
Yes.
All right. The two mothers can sit down. I don't need you
Yes, Your
here
Honor.
for this. Thank you. All right. Desiree, you were in school.
Yes, ma'am.
You had a cell phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened.
School was over. We were all hanging out outside. She came up to me and asked if her friend could use it, and Yesenia Hernandez.
And you said?
I said, yeah, and I walked over there with her and gave him the cell phone.
Gave who the cell phone?
Krista.
And?
And then she used it, and I was over standing a couple feet away talking to some friends, And then she went up to Brianna, or Krista, and said, Desi said I can use her cell phone. And then she walked away with it.
What?
I went up to Desiree and asked if I could use her cell phone, and she said I could.
Just a second. What you say in your answer is, you went up to Desiree and asked if you could use her cell phone.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that what happened?
Yes, Your Honor.
And she said?
Yes.
And did you use her cell phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who did you call?
I called my grandmother and my mom.
Okay. Did she call you from the cell phone?
Yes, she did.
Good. And then what did you do?
And then I remember giving it back to her.
That's not what you say in your answer. So get it together. You said in your answer, I used the cell phone, and then my friend asked if they could make a call too. You remember saying that?
Yes.
Now you remember that?
Yes.
Better? And you let your friend have the phone.
Yes, because she said they could.
Just a minute. That's what you said. You said then you gave the phone. You want me to read it to you, what you said? You said, quote, I passed the phone to my friends and left school. That's what you wrote. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know you're 100% sure that it's true.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you say, I have no idea who had it last after I left school.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right? So your defense is, it's not my fault. My two other friends had the phone. Let her go find out where the phone is. That's your defense. Wrong! Step up. Do you understand why she's wrong?
No, Your Honor.
Well, maybe I can help you. Because I gather you don't understand why she's wrong. So maybe I can give you a lesson. Do you want a car?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a best friend?
Yes, I do.
What's your best friend's name? You don't have to think so hard. If you have a best friend, your best friend has to have a name, madam. What's your best friend's name?
Becky.
Becky? Becky comes to you and says, Stacy, I have an emergency. Can I borrow your car for a half hour? Right?
Yes.
Say, sure. You know, my best friend. Take the car keys and you give her the car. You say, use it, you know, just bring it back. And Becky leaves, takes the car, and when she's out, she finishes her emergency, and she runs into her friend, Charlie. Charlie says, you know what? You got a car. I really need a car. Could I borrow the car to go to OTB? And your best friend, Becky, says, sure. Take the car. And he takes the car, and he wraps it around the tree. You think Becky's responsible for your car?
Yes.
Of course. Because you loaned the car to
Becky.
She loaned the phone to your daughter. Your daughter had the responsibility of returning the phone to her. She didn't do it. Now do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. How much did you pay for the phone?
It was $199.99, Your Honor.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
How old are you, Miss Mance?
I'm 19.
How old were you when you met the defendant?
I was 17.
You were in high school?
Yes, I was a senior in high school.
And what was he?
He was the assistant swim coach on my high school swim team.
When did you start to date him romantically?
We started dating maybe 3 days after the season ended. That was in February of 2002.
You were 17?
Yes.
How old were you?
24 at the time.
Married or single?
Single.
Had been married?
No.
Any children?
No.
According to your complaint, he had some trouble making ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
And over the course of your relationship, you loaned him money.
Yes.
Substantial amount of money.
Yes.
Mr. Leith says that, well, he did have some hard times there financially. The money that you gave him was just that gift. You agreed to help him out. And because he's a good guy, he gave you back $2,400. And he says, according to him, let me quote his answer, he said, I didn't want to seem as if I was a charity case, so I paid her a total of $2,400 to make her feel better, and I can prove it. That's what you said here.
Yes.
A lie.
Prove. Shh. I'm going to cut to the chase right now.
Okay.
Miss Mance, you have a whole laundry list of money that you lent him over the years. Is that right?
Yes.
You say he gave you back $1,000, but he still owes you about $3,000.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you this. If he can prove to me what he says in his answer, that he paid you back $2,400, if he can prove to me, listen to my question, if he can prove to me that he paid you back $2,400, are you prepared to say, that's fine, that's...
No.
Oh, that's too bad. Prove to me that you paid her back $2,400.
I don't have any evidence of any kind.
Well, if you don't have any evidence, you see where I'm going?
I see where you're going.
See where I'm going?
The only evidence that we have is a title of a car that was signed over from my name to her name, which is a car that I purchased for her.
For $200.
Shh. I purchased the car for $400 from a friend. We signed $200 on the title because it made tax reasons easier. When I put $600 worth of work into it, which her father actually helped me do the work in a friend of his shop, and we had $600 in total parts, including seat covers, wheel covers, and things that I needed to get the engine running properly again, which the car was destroyed a week or so after she started driving it because something that wasn't fixed properly ended up blowing up inside and destroyed the motor. I also gave her $1,400 in cash in total payments, and that was
Show me from the bank from which you drew out.
I paid everything in cash.
Listen to my mouth. Are you a bookie?
No.
You have a job?
Yes.
You have a checking account?
No.
You put money in a bank or under the mattress?
Under the mattress.
You put it under the mattress. You're slick, but I don't believe you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Nobody does that. You put money in a bank, especially $1,400. You would have some evidence that you withdrew $1,400 from a bank. Not necessarily a check. Not everybody has a checking account. But most people who are college educated have a checking account.
Your Honor, at one point he did have a checking account.
Just a second. Do I look like I need help from you yet?
No.
Who is this?
This is one of my friends. His name is Chip. He's a witness that 2 of the times I did pay her cash, they were $200 each time, so he's a witness to $400 of the money that was paid back.
Good. Perfect. I don't even have to hear him. She says that you paid her back $1,000. You could have had 2 more chips. $2,400, sir. Get there. So far, let us assume that I believe you, which I do not, that we have $400 from Chipper over here. And you have $600 in parts for a car.
Which my father paid for.
Just a second. $2,400, sir. Get there.
I already told you, ma'am. $1,000 in total for the car, and then $1,400 in cash payments made to her.
When?
During the course, it was probably over a course of a year, because she loaned me money when I first got diagnosed with a disease, Crohn's disease. I was out of work for a while, and then when I got back to work, I took a dive off the ladder and had a fractured spine at one point.
You're an accident looking to happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't you have family?
No. Well, family, yes. It's my father and my mother and everybody, but...
Well, father and mother usually comprise family. Right, Chip?
I agree, ma'am.
That's where you go if you have the propensity to fall off ladders. You go to your parents. You don't go to your 17-year-old girlfriend.
Well, she was 18 at that time.
Oh, my goodness. Eligible for Social Security, and you were 25. Father?
Yes, ma'am.
Happy with him?
Not really.
Oh, I could tell.
My ex-wife is even less happy, and I had to keep him out of jail. She wanted to put him there.
He was forbidden from entering my mother's house where I was living at the time.
When you were how old?
17.
17, 18.
Is there any particular reason why he was forbidden from entering your house?
I wasn't forbidden from her father's house.
No. I understand that.
My mother was very upset because he was so much older than me, and she found out that I had been giving him money, which upset her even more. And
Where'd you get the money from?
I worked. I have a copy of my W-2 here. I worked full-time during the summertime, and I took a semester off school, and I worked.
She made very good money that year. Unfortunately, she doesn't have it.
Yes.
And I get very few phone calls, if I may interrupt, from my ex-wife. One of them was about this situation after she had heard about it, because it was in the closet for some time. And the words that came out of her mouth were statutory. And that's what she wanted to pursue. And I talked her out of that.
That's hard to do anyway.
Yes.
Because
and
at the time, what's your first name?
Maureen.
Maureen. At the time, Maureen was in love.
Yes.
I
didn't want to push them apart, her mother and herself. I figured
Smart idea.
That would end up in the wrong
Smart.
direction. Thank you.
Wouldn't have gone anywhere anyway.
No.
You need somebody to testify, right?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
the day that we went to Sausalito, Eric was rubbing my shoulders in front of the guy that we were buying product from.
I don't care, and neither does he.
As long as they're not my shoulders.
Well, I don't care about rubbing shoulders. Go someplace else if you want to talk about rubbing shoulders.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Maureen Mantz says ex-boyfriend Greg Leith owes for unpaid loans. Maureen says she started dating Greg when he was her high school swim coach, and she was just 17.
Okay, so far you have not convinced me that you gave her $2,400.
The title.
I see you
signed
there
over.
without any evidence.
The only evidence I would have had would have been the title of the car.
Except
which I
Chipper over
signed
here. And Chipper doesn't want to fall in my mouth again, do you, Chipper?
No, ma'am.
I will also say, Your Honor, that she did not loan me nearly the amount, and then none of it was supposed to be a loan. She had told me during the course of this relationship that she was helping me out because we were together and because we were in a relationship.
I know.
And it was only
Just
after we
listen
broke
to-
up.
Listen to me, sir.
Yes.
A 17-year-old cannot make a contract with you.
None of the money was ever borrowed or any money that she ever spent was until after she had turned 18, so she would have been a legal adult at that time.
Which was only a few months later.
You got it? Do you just love that man? Listen to me. Maureen, really good lesson.
Hard.
Hard
Very
lesson.
hard.
Over the course of 2 years, you gave him a whole lot of money. Now, ordinarily, I would dismiss your lawsuit because you have no evidence of a loan. You loved him. But he says he paid you back. That's his problem. And he can't prove it because he has no evidence. So what he wants me to do is believe a 25-year-old, because at that time he was 25, because you've turned 18, eventually he turned 25,
Right.
that a 25-year-old man took money from an 18-year-old girl, and he wants me to believe that this 25-year-old man had no bank account, no checking account, kept his money under his mattress.
When he had it.
When he had it. So I find that hard to believe, Mr. Leaf. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is your Crohn's disease under control?
Yes, it is.
Oh, how wonderful for you. And you're working full-time?
Yes, ma'am.
And you haven't fallen off any ladders lately?
No, ma'am.
Very good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,400, which is the amount you say you paid her back but can't prove. Maureen, be grateful.
I am. Thank you very
That's
much.
all.
Thank you, Ron.
All these are excused. You may step out.
In the beginning of our relationship, he wrote me letters telling him how much he loved me and how much he couldn't wait to spend his life with me.
We had both written letters to each other, and I wouldn't consider them to be romantic love letters.
I was young, I was naive, and it was a hard lesson.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Mackey versus Dewey. Step forward.
Spa owner Lee Mackey is suing his former employee, 26-year-old esthetician Melanie Dewey, for the return of money he claims she stole. Melanie says she kept the money because Lee was withholding her pay.
Mr. Mackey, do you own a day spa? Is that what kind of establishment
Yes, ma'am.
that
I'm
you
actually a
have?
partner.
And according to what I read, the defendant did some work at your day spa as an esthetician. She gave facials. What else?
We didn't really get to that point yet, but I was going to be the head esthetician and I was getting ready to open the salon with them.
So you weren't working for them?
I was working for them, but not doing facials yet.
What were you doing?
I was helping them open the day spa, doing like the hiring and the training and ordering the supplies, bringing the supplies.
Okay. According to what I read, Miss Dewey came to you with some sort of a proposition, and that was that she had a friend from whom she could purchase a tanning bed at a very good price, $500. Is that right?
Not technically, ma'am. It's a spray tan machine, and the price was $550. So it was not technically
Spray
a tan.
tanning machine.
Yes, ma'am.
You gave her the $550?
Gave her $500 in cash, and then I helped put $150 down for her insurance.
I don't want to know about the insurance. You gave her $500 in cash for the machine?
$650 total, ma'am.
Mr. Mackey, I want you to listen to me, sir. I said you gave her $500 in cash for the machine.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you said, well, I didn't want the machine. You were going to sell it to somebody else. And when you told that to the defendant, she said, well, I'm going to keep the $500.
Yes, ma'am.
And you also claimed that you loaned her $150 for her car insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Miss Dewey says that, in fact, you did give her the $500, you did pay the $150, but you owed her money for some wages, and she's keeping everything. Right?
Correct.
Uh-huh. When were you supposed to open the spa, Mr. Mackey?
Originally it was in June, but we were delayed for construction. We finally opened December 15th.
Of 2003?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did Miss Dewey come to work for you?
I'd have to actually talk to our general manager, Eric. He's actually the one that dealt with hiring her.
When did Miss Dewey come to work for you?
She started helping the spa open, I would say, in early...
You're thinking really hard. The questions get harder here,
September.
sir. What?
September.
September what?
I don't know the exact date.
When in September?
It was the last week of July, actually.
Is that a possibility, sir?
I have her paycheck here that says 11/13/03 for 16 hours that she put in, and $295 of products that she purchased that she was reimbursed for.
11/16/03 is the first paycheck she had?
Yes,
You said she came to work for you in September.
that is correct.
So what happened to September and October?
This is when she was reimbursed for her hours.
Let me see. Okay. So you say you came to work in July.
End of July, last week.
And what did you do for them in July?
They had me look online for products that they would like, talk to them on the phone, ordering supplies, going with them to Sausalito to order supplies.
Well, I want you to take out a list of the hours that you worked.
He was responsible for all those hours. I don't have any of the hours.
You mean you were being paid on an hourly basis and you didn't keep track of how many hours you worked?
He actually was supposed to give me a base salary, which I never had, and a compensation package that he never gave me. He never came through with anything that he said that he would.
Then why did you continue there?
That's why I quit, and that's why I kept the money. It was ridiculous.
Well, you can't do that.
I felt that I could. Maybe
Well, you can't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lee Mackey says former employee Melanie Dewey owes for the return of money. Melanie claims it's Lee who owes her.
Okay. What's your first name?
Melanie.
Melanie! Listen to me, dear. If you go to work for somebody in July and you get your first paycheck in November, you're supposed to say,
Too trusting.
Something isn't right here. I worked in July, I worked in August, I worked in September, I worked in October. November 16th, I get a check for $583. Something isn't quite making sense here. Now, when did he give you the $500 for this tanning machine?
It was in September.
August 28th, ma'am. Also, just to talk a little bit about what Melanie is saying about working, we actually weren't even open. We were during construction.
I understand that.
So-
What Melanie is saying is she was helping you set up. And she had to have been there prior to when you say she was there in November, because she made this arrangement to get you a piece of equipment in August.
That's because we were friends.
Mr. Mackey, don't play with me. You may have promised her that she would have a role in the new day spa and that she would be the chief esthetician, but you needed some help in setting up the place, and she was on the phone, and she may have gone to look for some products for you. It's her responsibility to keep track of her own hours, to check against yours. She can't do that. She can't come here with a pretty smile and a great tan and then say to me, this is my evidence. I mean, that doesn't float. So August 28th, Miss Dewey, you got the $500. And when did you decide to keep it for yourself? What date?
Probably around the end of September, when I was still working for them and training all of their estheticians. And then I asked him for my compensation package, and he said that it was a great package, nowhere to be found, but they were going to turn around and sell the machine that I was giving them and make about $1,000 off of it. And at that point I realized I'm not going to get paid, they're making money, and I'm getting totally screwed.
Shh. That was in September?
Correct.
So in September you kept the money?
Correct.
Did you continue to go to work there?
No.
Well, then can you explain this check that was given to you on November 13th for $583 that you cashed?
I guess it was a later time. I don't remember the time frames.
Can I ask you this question, Miss Dewey?
Yes.
What did you do to prepare for your day in court? I mean, other than put on perfect makeup, what did you do?
I've been
Madam?
out of the country. I wasn't prepared.
You certainly are not prepared. What you're supposed to do when you come to court is the judge is going to ask you questions. Then you had to sit down and say, this is when I went to work for them. These are the hours that I put in. This is when I stopped working. This is when I decided to appropriate the $500 for myself because I wasn't getting paid. But if now you tell me that you appropriated the $500 in September, and then 2 months later they pay you $583, something doesn't quite fit. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, so I can't help you, madam. Now, what about this $150 loan for insurance?
Well, actually, ma'am, $50 was supposed to go towards the machine. The other was a loan because the insurance agent was around the corner from my house, and I do have the canceled check.
Can I see it,
where I
please?
wrote Melanie on the info line because it was not for me. And that was dated 11 November.
Okay. Now, Melanie, State Farm is where you insure your car. Is that correct?
That's where he insured my car, yes.
What do you mean he insured your car?
He was trying to pursue me. He was trying to date me. And that was one of his ways to get me to date him, was to get car insurance for me. So that was something that he did as a gift.
Just a second. Melanie, he was trying to date you. He was trying to pursue you. That adds a new layer to this rather interesting
Actually, both
case.
owners were, actually.
What?
Yeah. The day that we went to go get products in Sausalito, Eric was rubbing my shoulders in front of the guy that we were buying products from.
I don't care, and neither does he. You don't care about rubbing shoulders, do you?
As long as they're not my shoulders.
Yeah. Well, I don't care about rubbing shoulders. All I care about is State Farm insurance for $150. Go someplace else if you want to talk about rubbing shoulders. Now, you allowed him to pay for your insurance, is that right?
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because he said it was a gift and he wanted to do that for me.
I don't believe you. Okay, listen, Melanie, where do you work now, darling?
I work at a day spa.
What do you do in the day spa?
I'm an esthetician.
How many days a week do you work?
4 days.
What do you do on the 5th day?
I take care of my son.
And on 4 days, working 4 days a week, you're able to support yourself and your child?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, wonderful. So I hope you have the $650 to return to Mr. Mackey. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $650. That's all.
76 on the calendar in the matter of Waller versus Zarbach. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Mrs. Waller, this is your son. What's your first name?
Doug.
What?
Doug.
Doug. Doug was playing football on the 27th of October of this year, and according to you, during the course of the game, he was assaulted by the defendant, who was the coach on the opposing team.
Yes.
You want the defendant to pay for all of his medical bills and for punitive damages as a result of that assault.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says it was your son who was way out of line and that he did not assault him. He merely tried to negotiate a confrontation that was going on that was really, at least in part, precipitated by your son. Fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you were involved in an altercation. Is that right, Doug?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened.
There was a fumble in the football game, and
Now, I want you to understand something before we go any further. This is what I know about football.
okay.
The only thing I know about football is it interferes with Sundays, and they don't run around bases. So don't get technical with
All right, a fumble is where the person carrying the ball drops the ball, and that means everybody is scrambling around to get the ball. And so there was a pile, and I was on top of a kid, and he said, "Let me."
You were on top of the pile.
Yeah, well, I was like in the pile on top of another young man, and the kid said, "Let me up, and I'll kick your butt" or something, because
Okay.
yeah. And so when I was getting up, I got pushed from the back, and then me and another kid started fighting.
That's not true.
Just a second. Want to get to you in a second.
And then
So you pile on this pile, because I've seen that. How many people were under you on the pile?
I think only just the one kid that said, "Let me up."
Now, the kid that was right under you was on top of another kid. Is that right?
I don't think so. I think
Yes, that is true. Your
Just a second.
I think
Well, if you fumble and somebody's got the ball, I know this much. Somebody's holding on to this ball, you know. Is that right?
That's right.
And then somebody is on top of them because they've gotten them down. Right?
That's right.
Okay. So that sounds more right to me.
Okay.
So you got somebody from your team that's got the ball underneath.
Yeah.
See, I'm picking
Nope.
up this game.
That's from my team.
From
My team
your
took care of
team,
the fumble. Yes, ma'am.
and then somebody from his team was on top.
The guy, our quarterback, was underneath the bottom of the pile, and 2 or 3 players from his team were in the pile, and he was the last guy on top of the pile.
He was the last guy on top of the
He
pile.
was the last guy on top of the pile.
Does that sound right to you, Doug?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, just so that I can understand this, you already got a lot of guys on this pile, so the ball's not going anywhere.
Right.
Why do you jump on top of the pile?
It's just it was going somewhere when I jumped on the pile.
No. There were a lot of people on top of the pile, so it wasn't going on. You just jump up on, because I've seen that, you know, a bunch of morons jumping on top of a pile until it gets to be very high. So you just jump on to jump on. Yeah. And the person below you said, "Get off of me," and then there was a fight.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened as a result of that fight?
When we started fighting, he came.
Why
up-
were you fighting, by the way?
Ma'am.
We're going to get to you.
Okay.
We're going to get to you. Because we're going to refresh Doug's recollection if he can, because, you know, Doug is how old?
15.
They got a lot of testosterone when they're 15.
Yes,
Sometimes it interferes with memory.
That's true.
So my question is, why were you fighting?
Because when I was getting up off the pile, a kid pushed me from the back.
Do you know who that was?
And it shows it on the tape.
Just a second. Do you know who that was?
No, I don't know.
All right, so he pushed you.
I do.
And what happened as a result of being pushed?
Me and another kid off the opposing team started fighting.
Not the kid who pushed you.
No.
This is all such an intelligent game. So somebody else pushed you and somebody from the other team, and you started to fight.
The one that said, "Get up, and I'm going to kick your butt."
Okay. And so the two of you were fighting, punching each other?
No, ma'am. There's no punching by my guy.
I'm going to get to you. Punching each other? What else were you doing to each other?
I'm pretty sure we just punched at the start.
Where were you punching each other?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And then you say the defendant came up.
Yeah.
And what did the defendant do?
He grabbed me by my face mask and yanked me down to the ground, and then I was punched in the back.
Well, who punched you?
I think him.
But you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Just a second. You don't know who punched you?
The tape shows a struggle of some sort.
Just a second. I'm going to look at the tape. I'm asking him questions. He pulled you down by the mask, by that thing that you wear, and got you to the ground. And then somebody hit you when you were on the ground.
Yes.
But you don't know who hit you.
No.
He was still standing over him.
You were there, I assume, at the game. And then what happened?
And then the police officers went out and got all the players out of there and started talking to my dad, and then that was pretty much it. Everybody left.
Well, let me ask you this question, Doug.
Okay.
Before I look at the tape and before I hear the defendant, do you think you did anything wrong that day?
Yes.
What did you do wrong?
Instigated a fight, probably.
Reacted to another child's
Don't speak. You instigated a fight. And what do you think the defendant did on that day?
Assaulted me.
Did he try to stop the fight?
I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
Did he try to stop the fight?
Yeah.
Now, do you think that if someone hadn't intervened, you and this other boy would have continued to fight?
Probably not. Because after that, everybody was out on the field. They had police officers and everything, so.
And who do you think started all of that?
Just me getting pushed in the back.
Listen, they play football and they slam into each other. They slam and they body slam and they jump on top of piles and everything else. And you got pushed.
But the play was over.
Just a second. You got pushed. Did you fall down and break anything when you got pushed?
No, ma'am.
Somebody just gave you a shove. You didn't even lose your footing, right?
I fell forward, but I didn't.
You didn't lose your footing. You lurched a little bit. And then the fight was on. And then you were hurt.
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 15-year-old Doug Waller says opposing football coach Brad Zarbach assaulted him during a game. Brad says Doug started a fight with one of his players.
You were hurt? How were you hurt?
I was pulled down to the ground and punched.
Well, I heard that you were pulled down to the ground, and that he did, and he acknowledges that he grabbed you by your mask and immobilized you. We don't know who punched you.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about the injuries that you sustained.
Concussion.
I have a.
Do you have a physician's report?
I'd like to see it, please.
I don't know what they're called.
Also, our doctor bills.
I'd like to see the report first. And I assumed that October 27th was the last day you played football.
Yes, ma'am.
That's probably a real good thing.
May I say
Chess
something?
may be a good thing. Yeah, I'm going to let you say something as soon as I hear the defendant. Okay, let me hear what you have to say.
In a nutshell, Your Honor, I'm a state licensed EMT. I fixed kids that were hurt, and on this particular play, the number 6 on their team was hurt through the struggle of the fumble. And I was running out to the field. This kid was laying down, and he wasn't moving.
You mean the kid under the pile?
Yeah, he was kind of on the bottom. One of the kids on the bottom of the pile. He was on from their team.
Speak slowly.
He got hurt in the crashes. I mean, everybody who's in the fumble gets, often there's injuries that happen because of top-of-the-head collisions.
So you ran out.
So I ran out, and I just got to the kid, number 6 on their team, to try to help him and figure out what was wrong. And then as I stood up, the number 6 got up and went away. And I guess he was all right. As I stood up and looked, I saw the defendant turn around and just start punching the quarterback. And there wasn't much of a fight because the quarterback was laying on the ground and he couldn't punch anybody. He was just trying to probably cover himself up. And at that time, I grabbed his face mask.
You mean he was standing up and punching him?
Yeah, the defendant was standing up and punching the guy on the ground. And the videotape shows that clearly. But there wasn't much of a fight because he was just beating on this poor quarterback of ours. So I got there. I thought, man, what do I do with this kid? I mean, look, he's well on this. I don't want to have 2 people to work on. So I
grabbed him by his face mask.
Grabbed him by his face mask. And face masks are engineered. Can I tell you a bit about face masks?
Don't tell me the whole thing. If you put your hand there, you can pull them down.
Yeah, you can pull them down. But also, they're engineered to stop at the breastplate of the shoulder pads so your head doesn't ever get hyperextended, so you don't ever have any problems. It's one of the designs of a football helmet, and that's why I brought it. Because this is pretty close to his football helmet. It just comes down onto the breastplate, so this doesn't hurt anybody to do this. If you want me to show you on some...
Don't show me, I understand.
Okay.
He doesn't claim that he was hurt as a result of having this done to him. He says he was punched.
Yeah, well, I didn't punch. So what happened, I got him on the ground, and I said, stop it, stop it, stop it. And then Coach Mathis came out and grabbed me and said, get off the field. So I let go of his face mask, grabbed it, picked up our quarterback, and ran to the sideline. And that was the end of the incident.
Who's Coach Mathis?
He's the president of the league and a coach.
Are you the coach for which team?
I'm the head coach for
our
Zarbach's team.
For your football team?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you wanted to say something.
Yes, as the gentleman was saying about the helmet, as he had my son's head down below his knees, that opened up a space between his shoulders and his head mask.
He was
as my
kneeling down.
son, my turn, please. As my son came off of the field, he was gagging and vomiting, which generally, unfortunately, as my medical bills say, is generally a head trauma.
He didn't have a head trauma.
A neck trauma, a head trauma. He has a concussion. It's what's written on the doctor's thing. If he had not grabbed my son, he should have been grabbing his own players. That is the referee's job to break up fights, not this gentleman to come out there. My son this is my youngest child. I have never physically assaulted my children, corporal punishment at all. If somebody was going to do that, he should have done that to his own players, not my son.
Okay, now just a second. Now I hear it. Now let me see the tapes.
But let me tell you one quick thing, can I, please?
Yep.
After I got my team to the sideline, his coach had run over into the middle of the fracas, and apparently the defendant decided to bolt, and he started running straight toward me. Now, what his intentions were, I don't know, but he was on full speed. His coach grabbed him around his arms, and so he couldn't catch himself, and slammed him to the ground.
100-pound man versus 200-pound man.
Ma'am,
Madam!
He's not a...
Madam!
He was a 200...
Listen, you know, you're not in the kindergarten class now defending your child.
He was a...
Shh! Listen to me. Doug! My eyes. Did your coach come out and restrain you at any point after this?
Yes, ma'am.
Shut up.
Thank you.
When did your coach come out to restrain you?
After the incident was pretty much over.
After
Well,
the
there was-
defendant... Listen to me. I didn't finish the question. After the defendant immobilized you and got you to the ground, it was after that your coach restrained you? Well, where were you when your coach had to restrain you?
Well, most of the teams were grouped together. and
Yes.
I was in my side of the field, and there was still like a little kind of ruckus going on.
So after... You're irritating me.
I'm sorry.
So after this whole thing happened, when you were nauseous and vomiting and everything else, after this, you were continuing the altercation because your coach came out and restrained you.
I vomited after that.
After your coach restrained you or before?
After.
Now, did your coach have to restrain anyone else?
Well, he grabbed kids and got them out of the fight.
Did he have to physically put his hands
No.
around anybody else other than you? So would it be fair to say, Doug, that you were the one who was involved in most of the acting out at that moment when your coach came over to restrain you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what were you doing?
Just caught up in the moment.
No, not caught up with the moment. What were you doing when your coach came out to your coach came out to restrain you?
I was running over towards their side of the field.
Running over to do what?
Go after this guy, because
Go after which guy?
Zarbuck.
You were going over to the field to assault the defendant.
I was running over, yes.
Well, what were you going to do?
I didn't really have it planned or anything.
You didn't have a plan. And how far did you run? Point to someplace in this room. How far did you run before
Probably
the coach
from
restrained you?
Their table to about halfway through my table.
And then the coach got you and restrained you. And other than putting his arms around you, what did he do to restrain you?
Well, he brought me to the ground and then...
He put his arms around you and brought you to the ground. Your coach.
Yes.
Now I'll see the tape. What number are you?
41. Right there.
You're just pushed.
Just a second. Can we go back a second, please?
And there's Mr. Zarbuck.
Can we go back a second?
I'm not punching him at all.
Now start it. Everybody's getting up.
He gets pushed.
Who's on top now?
That's my coach.
That's your coach?
Yes, ma'am.
And who's on the bottom?
Me.
That's your coach?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any more on this tape you want me to see? Go ahead. So your coach got you down, threw you down.
If you listen to what the parents are saying.
What?
The parents are speaking in the tape.
I don't care what the parents
how
are saying.
appalled they were and that he came out.
I don't care what the parents are saying. I'm looking to see who's on top of him and who got him to the ground, and it's the coach of his own team. Is there anything else on this tape? No. All right. You have a tape you want me to see?
I do. It's a different angle from our bench. Just shows how he's punching him. You can't see him laying on the ground. Just clean.
Now, when your coach got you down here, was that before or after the defendant got you down?
After.
After. Looked pretty healthy to me. Healthy enough for your coach to have to immobilize you. Can I see that tape, please, Bert? Is it all? Thank you.
Judge Judy?
Yeah?
I understand that this same incident has happened where he's gone out and assaulted a child during baseball.
Listen, I'm not interested.
Not.
Not interested.
Oh, my heck.
Not interested. I'm interested in October 27th.
When he gets up. That's basically it.
Even the coach was punching that behind you.
Okay. That's it.
Who's on the ground now?
That's him.
Me.
He lays on him for 22 seconds.
Just a second. That's you on the ground.
Yes, ma'am.
And who's on top of you?
My coach.
Your coach. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. Bassey versus Hood. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Who was driving? You weren't there?
No.
You're her mom?
Yes, I'm her mother.
She looks like she can take care of herself. If she can't, you can't help her because you weren't there.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Bassey, according to your complaint, you and the defendant got into sort of an altercation. You were going to pick up
My little sister.
your sister in school, and you were going to pick up
My son.
your son. And as a result of that, it is your claim that the defendant damaged your car. The defendant says that your poor driving was the result of the damage to your car, and you actually ran into her car. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Pull that a little bit closer to me so that I can see it a little bit better. Up here, Bird. Miss Bassey, you're the red car.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go over and put your finger over there, please. That's where you were coming from, and you were making a left turn into the parking lot?
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendant was coming straight.
She was coming straight, and she didn't have a signal on. She was like right here where the curb is, where the driveway ends, and then she decides all of a sudden I need to turn. And so when she turns, she comes.
Shh, don't speak.
She comes and she turns so close to the curb, and I'm about to turn thinking she's about to pass by, so I stop to prevent from hitting her because it's a very congested area. And she turns in, and then I turn in after her.
Well, so far, you understand she had the right of way.
Yes, ma'am.
You did not. So, okay, and what happened next?
I honked at her.
Why?
Well, because she didn't. I honked at her because she didn't use her signal.
Well, that's not a nice thing to do, Miss Bassey. That's not an appropriate thing to do. She had the right of way. So right there, you were wrong. You had no right to honk at her because she had the right of way. Whether you think she had a signal on or not, she says she did. It doesn't make any difference. In a congested road, and you're going across 2 lanes of traffic coming from the opposite direction, and she is on the side of the road where she can make a right turn into that spot, she's got the right of way. So, Abe, that's one for her team. You had no right to honk the horn. So what happened after you honked the horn?
We pull up into the driveway area. We're right here where you pick up all the kids. And I honked twice to get my little sister's attention. When I honked twice, she thought I was honking at her.
Again?
Yes, she thought I was honking at her again.
Well, now let me ask you this question. How many kids are outside?
A lot.
What do you think it would be like, Miss Bassey, if everybody honked their horn a couple of times to get their little sister's attention?
Well, yeah, I mean,
is there something wrong with your legs?
Well, no, she wasn't that.
Just listen. Was there something wrong with your legs?
There was nothing wrong with my legs.
Then if there's nothing wrong with your legs, you stop the car, and you get out of the car, and you say to your little sister, here I am. You don't sit in your car and honk the horn. We're going to go step by step. I haven't gotten to her yet because I have a feeling you didn't behave reasonably either because I read your answer.
No, ma'am.
And it's amazing to me that two women, usually it's the guys that get into these jock wars, but two women behaving badly? How old are you?
17.
Well, you better go back to driving school and etiquette school because so far you're not #1 on my hit parade today. So you honked your horn for your sister, and the defendant thought you were again honking at her. That's what you assumed. So what did she do?
She flips me off and starts waving her fist behind me. She turns around and she just starts doing the little hand things and yelling.
Not a nice thing. Just a second. Not a nice thing to do.
You're right.
Okay. So she gestures to you in an obscene gesture. What happens next?
I looked at her and I threw my hands up like trying to say, no, I was not honking at you. And, she's still yelling, and I was yelling back at her. I'm like, look, I'm not trying to
So now
honk
you're
at you.
yelling at each other?
Yes.
Good. Go ahead.
And then after that, my little sister does see me, and she comes to the side of the car. And the defendant is still very angry that I had honked at her. And, we were still arguing with each other. And so at this time, I was trying to move. I had my little sister in the car. I wanted to get out of there. It's very busy. She doesn't move.
Well, where's your car?
Right here.
So you're behind her?
Mm-hmm. So she pulls up a little bit, we pull up, and then, she's still mad. And I honked at her again. I'm like, can you please move?
All right, so why are you honking?
She wouldn't move.
Why does she have to move?
She could have moved, but
why,
she was...
Now, why does she have to move?
Well, her son had already gotten to the car.
Look, I'm looking at your car, and I'm seeing what you did. So you pulled out, according to you, you pulled out because she's not moving, and you pulled around her.
Yes, after she did it, but no, I got out the car. I even got out the car and said, will you please move? Is she still cussing me out?
Can I ask you a question? Why? Miss Bassie, what? Stop it!
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you still arguing with her and imploring her to move when all you had to do was drive around her?
At the time, there was still cars going. There's a lot of cars still going through. And then when she was free, she wouldn't move. I was behind her to a place where I couldn't really squeeze around her this way or squeeze around her this way, but I managed.
Because everybody's picking up their children.
Yes.
Keep going.
Then I did manage to, because my car is small enough, so I'm like, okay, maybe I can squeeze around her. I was able to squeeze around her, and I drove all the way to over here to the drive area. Then she comes all the way, she drives over here, rolls down her window, and said, is this the way black people act? And I'm like, what was that supposed? I looked at her kids in the car, and they appeared to be biracial to me. And then I looked at her again, I'm like, what was that supposed to mean?
Okay.
And at this time, yes, we were cussing each other out. She then says, do you want to fight? And I'm like, do I want to what? And my little sister gets out of the car.
What'd she get out of the car for?
She got out she's like, do you want to fight? And my little sister's like, what do you want to, she got out, she's like, what do you want to fight for?
Where's the little sister? Step up here. Move over there. What did you get out of the car for?
Because at that time, Mrs. Hood had opened her door like she was going to get out, so I'm like...
Sounds like a perfect reason for you to stay in your car. If somebody, according to you and according to your sister, is acting like a lunatic and says, do you want to fight? Doesn't sound like the kind of situation you want to say, sure. Now, what's your first name?
LaQuise.
LaQuise, genius. What did you do when you got out of the car?
Well, I got out of the car because, by that time I was really mad. And so I guess I wasn't thinking. I got out the car and then, I kind of went over to her car and then...
So you kind of went over to her
yeah,
car?
By
What does that mean? That means you went over to her car?
I walked over to her car.
What?
I walked over to her car.
And what did you say when you walked over to her car?
I really didn't say anything. I was waiting on her. She said she was going to get out and fight. And I'm like,
and that's what you were waiting to do. You got out of the car to fight her.
I mean, I was going to see if she was
Miss Bassie back there, you should be very proud of them so far. Are you following me?
I am.
Right? So far, I'm looking at your mother and I'm looking at you two, and I got news for you. I don't think that your mother would have reacted the same way that day that you did. Right, Miss Bassie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When people behave badly and they have no defense for their bad behavior, they infuse racism to try to inflame the fact finder. Listen to me. It doesn't work.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 17-year-old Brycey Bassie says, during an argument at a junior high school, fellow motorist Tatum Hood rammed her car. Tatum claims Brycey and her sister threatened her life.
Okay, so after you got out of the car and walked over to Miss Hood's car because she said she wanted to fight, I assume at some point you got back into the car.
I walked over back to my sister's car, but because, you know, she was about to turn right by then. But then Mrs. Hood hits my sister's car, and I was shocked. I had no time to get back in the car because that's when she turned.
Well, just a minute. Your sister is making a turn from the wrong lane.
No. This is to go right. I went left after she had to hit my car. I was not even moving when she hit my car. She hit my car on purpose.
You mean she plowed into your car, you were standing still?
Yes, my car was not in motion.
Okay. And you have photographs of this car?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. Oh, that's a lot of damage. All right, Miss Hood, ball's in your court.
It was January 19th, 2005. May I go over here? I went to the school to pick up my son that's here. I'm the blue car here. I'm coming down Tyler Road. I believe it would be south. She's coming north. She is right here. As she said, it's very congested. There's lots of cars. If she would have been, like on her chart, over here already turning, there was tons of cars coming. I did have my blinker on.
Listen to me. She was wrong. I already said she was wrong.
Okay. So we turn in. When we turn in at Wilbur, there's also, there's like 2 lanes like this. I stay in this lane. We never got over here because to get over here, you have to stop up against the school and there's buses and handicap parking. I stayed in this lane. As I was turning, she started calling me all out of my name. She called me a white bee. Go back to driver's ed, learn how to drive. I'm going to kick your butt. As we stopped, I stopped here. She was behind me. She honked. I thought she was honking at me. Stupidly, I flipped her off. I never shook my fist at her, nothing else. She got out of her car at that point in time, come up, beating on my window, was screaming, I'm going to kick your butt. But she was not saying butt. Get out of your truck, you white bee this, white bee that. I rolled down my window. I said, you need to go get back in your car before you embarrass yourself. She went back into her car. We both proceeded to go. She spun around me. She's still screaming. I'm saying some stuff. We get like we're right here, and she is calling me all out of my name still, profanity, racial slurs. I am married to a black man. I am not racist. I rolled down my window. I said, you are giving young black women a bad name. You should not act like that. I would never allow my daughter to act like that or my son. She's like still using profanity, still cussing, and she's like, pull over her. By this time, the other sister was screaming at me too. Pull over, we're going to whip your butt, blah, blah, blah. She starts to go. I take off. Bam, I hit her. She's barely like this. They're going to pull over. They're trying to cut me off to fight. She never got out of the car. I hit her. When I hit her, we stopped. I probably stopped for 30 seconds. I'm not going to lie. Both of them at that time got out of the car. She was never out of the car till after I hit her. And then they were screaming, we're going to kill you, you stupid white bee, blah, 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 calling me racial. I can't believe it has turned into a racial thing. It's so sickening. And then...
No, it's not. It's not. Listen to me. Listen to me, Miss Hood. It's not racial here. It's not racial in this courtroom.
You're right.
Sometimes when people behave badly and they have no defense for their bad behavior, they infuse racism to try to inflame the fact finder. Listen to me. It doesn't work. Go ahead.
Afterwards, I leave because I don't know what they're going to do. Brycey then jumps back in the car with the younger sister that she picked up who's in the back seat, chasing us. I'm stopping at stop signs, stopping at stoplights. Each time we stop, she's getting out of the car, trying to come up to the window, still screaming. When we see 2 cop cars coming, I pull into a parking lot. She pulls in. When she pulls in, she stops. She gets out of her car. I'm going to mollywop you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to beat you up.
May I please see the police report?
Yes, ma'am.
And then
I want to see the police report.
The cops that pull up are telling her to get back in her car. They restrain her. I'm sorry.
I want to read the police report. You told the police you got out of the car.
My sister got out of the car.
Brycey, you signed the statement. You said, before that, I got out of the car and asked what the problem. And one continued to yell at me.
When I got out the car, that's way before, whenever we were still in the school area.
You didn't tell me that you got out of the car.
I did. I said I got out of the car and asked her to move.
No, you told the police you got out of the car and asked her what her problem was.
Yeah, I asked her what the problem is. Can you please move? I was not honking at you.
Did you do the wrong thing that day?
Yes, I did.
How much of this accident was your fault?
I would probably say, I don't know. I'm not going to say that it was the least of my fault. No, it was not. I shouldn't have honked at her. You know, that's the one thing. I shouldn't have honked at her. And then when I honked twice, I probably should have yelled for my sister. Or, you know, then after I got out the car, you know, instead I should have probably just sat there and waited for her to move.
Yes, you want to say something?
For what it's worth, I just want to say that I did speak with Mrs. Hood regarding this accident 2 days later. I went over to Mrs. Hood's home because I got the police report. I didn't have insurance. I was going to file the insurance, and I needed to know where she lived. The police did give us her address. And I went. She was very polite. I didn't have a problem with her. Mrs. Hood told me she was having a bad day that day. She said she was in an argument with her husband's nieces, and, you know, she was upset, and she was already tensed up and upset. And she did tell me she intentionally hit my daughter's car. She never denied hitting her car, but she also proceeded...
Just a second. Are you telling me, Miss Bassey, that Miss Hood said I intentionally hit her car?
Yes, she did. Those were her exact words to me. Yes.
Interesting. Is that what you said to her?
I said I hit her daughter's car. I never intentionally hit it. She was coming this way to cut me off. I did hit Bryce's car. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't hit it.
No, I know you did. I have the pictures to prove that you did. I'm just surprised that Miss Bassey is telling me that you used the word intentionally. I mean, I can't imagine anybody intentionally hitting somebody else's car.
Oh, that's what she told my daughter and myself. And she also told me she left the scene of the accident. I don't agree with Brycey chasing her. She said she left the scene of the accident not because she was afraid of my daughter.
Not just chasing her, Miss Bassey.
She left because she said she was unlawfully driving her truck.
Listen to me. I got it. I don't believe this story. I believe that what your daughter did was pull out, speed around her, and I believe that when she pulled out and sped around her, Miss Hood caught up with her.
No, I don't believe that, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Because Brycey wasn't moving when she hit her.
No. Listen to me. I said Miss Hood caught up with her. She pulled around her fast in a school pickup zone. That's what your daughter did. She had an attention span and a fuse that was about this short. And she created a situation in there because she's got a hot temper, and she wasn't behaving like a mature driver. Neither was this one. But she's not the plaintiff. She is. So you had, according to your complaint, $4,000 worth of damage to your car with no insurance.
No.
And all I'm asking...
She had insurance.
Insurance.
Yes, we had insurance.
Oh, good. So how much did the insurance pay?
We didn't want to file the
No.
insurance.
Well, you better.
Insurance does not take care of damages that have intentionally been done to the car.
Said.
Well, listen to me very carefully. I would file with my insurance carrier if I were you. Ordinarily, if this was solely her fault, I would say, well, why should you file with your insurance? Because that means your premiums are going to go up.
Yes, which they would have.
You're absolutely right. They would have, because she's a 17-year-old driver who was involved in an accident. But this accident was partially her fault. So I think you ought to file with your insurance company. Now, what kind of deductible do you have?
$500.
Good. Miss Hood's going to pay that. But you file with your insurance company. This accident was partially your fault, and that's what you have insurance for.
Even though Mrs. Hood agreed to fix her car? She agreed to fix it.
Listen to me. Then you don't come to court, Miss Bassey. Then you don't come to court. But if you come here and you're asking a fact finder to make a determination of what the right thing to do is, in this case, the right thing to do is because your daughter was at least 50% responsible for what went on that day because she did the wrong thing. She may have caught her on a bad day. That's the way sometimes you catch people. What? She was not in a hurry to go to a summit meeting. So she waits her turn, and she takes an extra couple of minutes, and her sister doesn't get out of the car in an aggressive stance. She's not picking up her baby sister, who's 3 years old. Your other daughter looks like she can well take care of herself, and she's got an attitude. So that's what you have insurance for. Miss Hood has to accept some responsibility for what she did, and she's going to cover your deductible. Put it into your insurance. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
तो हेलो दोस्तों, आप सभी का स्वागत है हमारे इस चैनल में। और सबसे पहले आप सभी को गुड मॉर्निंग। कैसे हैं आप लोग? आशा करते हैं आप लोग बहुत ही अच्छे ही होंगे। ठंडी तो बहुत ज़्यादा ही पड़ी है, क्योंकि दोस्तों इधर तो ठंडी इतनी ज़्यादा पड़ रही है कि कहीं हम साल स्वेटर मोजा पूरा एकदम पहन के हम लोग तभी भी इतना ठंड लग रहा है कि कहने का हद नहीं है। ठंडी प्लीज़ आप लोग बच के रहिए ठंडी से, क्योंकि ठंडी बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गई है और हो सके तो कुछ दिन में ख़त्म ही हो जाएगी। नहान के बाद ख़त्म हो जाएगा ठंडी, धूप होने लगेगा इस टाइम, लेकिन धूप नहीं हो रहा है। तो दोस्तों आज मेरी मम्मी आ रही है और हो सके तो मुझे ले जाए या ना ले जाए, देखिए क्या होता है। भाभी वीडियो डाले थे दोस्तों, तो भाभी जब खाना बना रही थी तो मम्मी फ़ोन के बोल रही थी कि कहाँ थी तुम, भाभी खाना बना रही थी, बाबू को ठंड लग जाएगा तो तुमको मार देंगे, ये कर देंगे, कर देंगे। तो आज आ रही है और देखिए क्या रिलेशन रहता है मम्मी का। फिर अभी हम लोग खाना वाना, सुबह हम लोग उठे हैं जल्दी से, झाड़ू वाड़ू लगा के, बर्तन रात को ही धो के सोते हैं हम लोग। तो उठे हैं झाड़ू वाड़ लगा के, फिर उसके बाद हम दीदी मिलके फटाफट खाना बनाए और बना के कभी से बैठे थे हम लोग। फिर अभी जस्ट खा के हम लोग और बर्तन धोने जा रहे हैं। दीदी काम कर रही है, बस बर्तन धोना है। तो अभी चलिए दिखाते हैं आप लोगों को अंदर क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग। और चलिए ठीक है, बने रहिए ऐसे ही हमारे ब्लॉग में। और प्लीज़ आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि ठंडी बहुत ज़्यादा है, देख सकते हैं आप लोग पीछे कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है, तो आप लोग ठंडी से बच के रहिए बस। तो ब्लॉग मैं यहाँ से स्टार्ट कर रही हूँ और सबसे मिलवा रही हूँ। तो अभी दीदी फटाफट बर्तन धो रही हैं, खाना वाना खाने के बाद सारा काम हो गया, बस बर्तन धोना है तो धो रही हैं और जल्दी काम करके
अभी हमारा कपड़ा भी धुलना है तुमको, फिर ये वाला
तो धोना है। और अभी हमारे खास मेहमान से मिलवाते हैं आप सबको। हाय दोस्तों, एक यहीं पे माता जी का पोस्टर लगा है, उसी को खूब ध्यान से ताक रहा है ये, और किसी से बात नहीं कर रहा है। ये बहुत ही बदमाश हो गया है, ठंडी लग रहा है। और ये दोस्तों कपड़ा बांधा गया इसके सेफ्टी के लिए, क्योंकि दूध ज्यादा पलता है ना, इसीलिए थोड़ा पिएगा फिर तुरंत पलट देगा, पूरा कपड़ा खराब कर देता है, महकने लगता है, इसीलिए इसके सेफ्टी के लिए लगाया गया है। नहीं बेटा, ये बहुत गंदा हो गया है। तो मेरा बाबू किसको किसको अच्छा लगता है वो कमेंट बॉक्स में जरूर बताए ना। तो बहुत ही जल्दी मेरा बाबू दौड़ने लगेगा।
सब क्यों गिरा हुआ फेंक
वो लगा पानी आई वो में, तो
काम न धाम करेगा, सिर्फ एक तो वो काजल लगा लेंगे बस।
कचरा लगाए ले तो धोई ले फाइल जाला। तो अभी भाभी देख रही वीडियो, ठंड बहुत ज्यादा तो इसकी आग उग जला के रखी है और बैठी हैं। तो चलिए फटाफट काम हम करके फिर वीडियो बनाते हैं, क्योंकि आज दोस्तों नहाना वहाना भी है, 3 दिन हो गया नहाया नहीं है। तो चलिए मिलता है नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय। और नए चैनल को नए होंगे तो सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा और ढेर सारा प्यार दीजिएगा आप लोग।